No, that we start out with a flat-out lie because both of you snuck on the show. That's just how it is, you know.
Sneaky bastards.
You know, it worked out yesterday because I loved yesterday's show.
Yeah.
I really liked the show a lot. So every day I'm going to start the show with, both of you get your head out of your ass and get in a good mood for Christ's sake. There, I'm going to start every show like that.
That was so funny.
It was wonderful yesterday. I had a great time yesterday on the show. Everybody's in a good mood.
Yeah, we started in a good mood.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I'm going to yell at you every day.
Oh, okay. That's the
Get
key.
your head out of
That's
your
the
ass.
key. You need to be yelled at to be put in a good mood.
That's
get,
it.
get your crap together.
That's
Do it. Do
That's
it.
exactly
I
what I'm
know.
talking. It's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right
I'm
there.
I'm in.
I'm in. I went and looked back a little bit. And look, I'm not trying to disprove anything or whatever, but I just don't like the fact that national news loves to scare people. And I know it's hotter than hell, but please go back and look at the stats. You know, like I said, Catherine and I just replaced ourselves. We didn't have 95 children. We both drive electric cars. We moved to a much smaller house. And I'm not even one of those climate activist people. It's just, if it's the right thing, it's the right thing. Calm down, everybody.
Are people scared?
Oh, God, yeah. Well, you cannot go out in some of this weather. Some people with conditions, there's no way.
Yeah.
No way they're going out. But I love how loud he talks. Yeah, we got to shut that door. I keep telling you that.
You were the last one to come in, and you realized it as you said
No,
it.
but I told you. No. What I realized is that you've been sitting on your ass the whole time I've been here.
Thomas, would you like me to shut that door?
No,
I got
it's
it.
all right.
I'm on it.
But I always talks that loud. It's hilarious, actually. He's talking to Dougie, I believe, is what the situation is. I should probably do the what thank you, young lady.
Yeah, no problem, sir.
Okay, so here's the deal. Today, an early shower possible. Hazy sun, hot and humid with a high of 97. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms, and isolated severe storm. Oh, good. So overnight tonight, we'll have more thunder and lightning.
Good.
Wake up, Tom. Get your ass out of bed. Friday, not as warm, so that's good. Not as warm, still humid with scattered thunderstorms. An isolated severe thunderstorm is possible. A high of 87, then 84, then 85, then 86. So basically, we have to get through today, and then things get a lot better. So that's good.
I hate that if people are scared or people can't go outside. I feel bad, but controversial take. I like the warm weather.
I'm telling you, I don't have any problem with warm weather. I don't like severe cold weather.
Samesies.
That's none for me with the cold weather. And Tom, do you ski? Does there have to be snow? Then no.
Alex makes fun of me because I'm not like, I always quit going outside in winter and I walk inside or run inside.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And she's like, embrace the snow, her and her husband. They do. They do
but he's a
embrace it.
skier and all that crap.
I know.
Yeah.
They do embrace it.
There was a sign out in the hallway here in the building. I don't know if it was this floor or not, but it said something like, Mount Everest is littered with bodies of ambitious people. And I'm like, I'm going to live by that motto right there.
There you go.
Yes.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, try harder or die. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Or don't try it all.
Or don't try it all, yeah. Partly cloudy, 76 right now, but it is going, they're saying it's going to be 97. I saw that it was going to be like 92. Let me check that again. Why can't they just call each other and come to, here's what we'll tell them. It's going to be 96. What do you say? Right?
Yeah, I think the thing is, too, is they then pull out the heat index. That's the big thing lately. Like, I kind of know what the heat index is, and I kind of just accept that that's, like, what it equals, right? Like, it's a combination of humidity and actual temperature and air condition, things like that. That's the heat index, correct?
I guess so. So it is going to be 96. They said 97. Pretty much everybody says it's going to be 95, 96, 97, somewhere in there. So that happens every July. Yes, we need to do something about this. I understand that. But once again, you also have to understand you can't keep crowding people into these spaces where you end up with 12 million people living in one city. It's just not a good idea.
Yeah. This weather does make you break out the hose, though, and, sit in a pool of water.
What are you talking about whores on my show?
Well, I mean...
Hey, let's go break out the hose.
Bring out the hose in different area codes.
Jesus, Palomino. All I have to say to you is Jesus, Palomino. You guys been watching anything on TV? Anything any good happening?
What did we watch? We were watching Real Housewives. And by we, I mean Justin was sitting there nicely next to me.
So in other words, he wasn't watching.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. That works. You got Dougie?
I do have Dougie, yeah.
I told you I don't want Doug on the show this early, but oh, wait a minute, he can hear me.
Oh, awkward.
Oh, thanks so much.
You're the best. I've now, look, it's 7:05 in the morning. I have now talked to you and Michael Bryant already today. Don't you think that's a lot of weight on my shoulders?
That is a massive burden to carry, sir, but you wear it well, as Rod Stewart said.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the line, Doug Sprinthal live. The new GM from Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin, home of my new EV Ford Mustang, online, flagshipford.com. So I heard business is good, a lot of inquiries.
Can we take a vote here?
Yes.
Everybody that wants Tom to stop reading the pre-intro, raise your hand.
Well, you don't want it on anymore?
I like it.
No, everybody knows who I am. That's cool. You don't have to do that.
Well, pardon me. Then.
I'm right.
Well, that sounds a little arrogant. I'm sorry. It's
Not
early.
you.
I just got up.
I like the intro, so I'm voting for it.
You do? You like the intro? You must have written it.
I did not write it, but I like the formal corniness of it.
How about this?
Okay.
I just rewrote your intro. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Hey, asshole, how you doing?
Now that's the Tom that we know and love.
Does that feel like home to be called asshole?
You know, it's so
Right,
funny.
Rod?
I literally, Dougie, have people walk up to me on the sidewalk and go, how do you get away with talking to your people that support you like that? They buy all these commercials, and then you tell them they're a piece of crap.
No, you just defined Don Rickles' entire career.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point.
If you want, Doug,
I'd like to sit in the front row. It'll be $100. All right, you hockey puck.
yeah, if you want, we can have Tom rewrite it to say, now we have Doug Sprinthal.
And he has a giant penis.
Oh,
Yeah, you
nice.
could do that.
Ooh, that would be good.
That's a great thing. We could lie to the listeners.
Or you could say, and now Doug Sprinthal, a great time to get up and fix yourself a drink.
Yeah. At 7:07 in the morning.
Yeah, what do you think of our listeners? Jesus.
Okay,
I'm
Dougie.
sorry.
Dougie, I have to use our friendship as soon as you're done.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
I have to just because I adore this woman. I love her dearly since I was a little boy. She's one of my greatest memories of being a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, that whole situation. Remember 3 weeks ago I went and visited my Aunt Mary Ann Levine?
Yeah.
Remember that?
You did tell me that, yeah.
She died yesterday.
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh, you guys would have loved her. She was one of the best people. But I'm telling you, I hadn't seen her in a long time, like probably a couple of years. No, not that long, but about a year since I had seen her. And I just got this idea in my head. It's like, look, I know it's not exactly right next to Madden's, but we should go to Long Prairie on the way home. I know it's an hour out of the way and all that stuff, but I just love to see Mary. Do you think there's some, I don't know, man, I'm not talking about magic or anything like that, but, you know, she was going to be 90 years old in September, so I do understand that you get the idea in your head. But, see, that's the gratitude I have in life. I am so grateful, whatever or whoever put that idea in my head to go see my Aunt Mary Ann. Thank you.
You know, I that's wonderful, and I am kind of a higher power guy. I believe that sometimes the right person goes to the right place at the right time, if that makes sense.
It was wonderful to see her. The last thing, and I will never forget it now because it just happened 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was just a second ago.
I leaned over and kissed her on the cheek and said, you know, I love you very much. And she said the same. So those are the last words we ever exchanged. And thank you, God. If there's a God, thank you, or whomever, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm very grateful for that. I really am.
I'm so glad you guys went and saw her.
Oh, me too.
Well.
I told the story yesterday. I gave her that sheet of paper with scribbling on it, and she said, what's this say? And I said, I don't know. I don't know how to read.
That's so funny that she remembers that.
Yeah.
That's so cute. It's such an that's Andy's dad right there in a nutshell.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably true. But yes, thank you to the entire Levine family. You've all reached out. Man, it was so great to see all of you and your lovely mother. And I told her I adored her. So, again, I'm very sad, but at the same time, I'm very grateful that happened. So let's talk about cars now, shall we?
All right. We'll shift gears.
Oh, see, we'll shift gears. I like
there he
that.
goes.
Huh?
Yeah. We were talking a little bit about the hailstorms in western Wisconsin, and Baldwin, for some reason, hasn't got hit, but all around us. And I found out firsthand yesterday how bad it was. A young woman, a nurse in Rice Lake, came looking at buying a late model Ford, and she had her trade-in, which was a Toyota Highlander. I tell you, this windshield was so busted, it looked like it had been in The Godfather. You know, when Sonny gets blasted at the toll booth?
Yeah.
It looked the whole car looked like that.
Dang-a-lang.
Unbelievably bad. I mean, this wasn't just a couple, and it busted the side view mirrors off, and the taillights were busted, and it was unbelievable. So there will be hail sales at those dealerships in the western part of Wisconsin, New Richmond and Hudson and so on and so forth. Some people like to take advantage of that. I've done it in the past. It happens if you've been in the car business long enough. But some people want unmolested new cars, so they're going to be in short supply in that part of the world. So if you're interested in a good deal on a hail-free car, Baldwin Ford is the place to go. I should say Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin. It's so early I got the name wrong.
No, I'll get it. I'll do your job for you. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you.
You know what I'm saying. Right?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
If that happens, like let's say you have a bunch of hail damage and you have insurance, can you bring it in like all raggedy and they will give you the insured vehicles trade-in price?
Yeah, well, what they do is they figure out I don't want to speak for an insurance company, but usually you'll have the option to have it repaired, and then the insurance company pays the body shop, or they'll just give you the check directly, and you can choose to drive a hail-damaged cars. Our good friend Don Cavanaugh has got the dent repair stuff that can get light hail damage out, but this is so severe. If you were going to, I think this car was actually totaled. It had to be $10,000 worth of damage, and it was an older Toyota with some miles on it. Still, without the damage, it would have been a sellable piece, but it looked like a total wreck just from hail. It was. And our office manager, who lives 40 miles out of town, they had just had their roof replaced, and she says they need another roof. It took down their fence and put holes in their siding. There's a bad storms over there. But I've never seen holes. I've seen dented siding before, but I've never seen holes in it.
Geez, real holes?
Yeah.
Man. It was rather severe. There's no question. We talked about the severity yesterday, and it's still kind of hanging on today. Even though I slept really, really well last night, I could have slept another couple hours. I'll tell you that. God.
Yeah, we headed down to the boat yesterday after work and went out in the little whaler for a ride. It was just beautiful on the river, and there's nobody out here, but it was a little warm down sleeping on the boat last night, so didn't get the best sleep.
Doug, you got to back away from that really hard life of yours, like sleeping on the boat at night. Jesus,
come on, you could do it if you had one.
If I had one, I could do it. You're absolutely
it's perfect. It's a 5-minute commute for Sarah, and it cuts mine by about 20 minutes. And, we love it down here. Although none of her friends are here, it was too hot for them. Bunch of babies.
Sugar tit all the way. No question about it. It's all true. No, I love that. I won't say which cove you're in, but that's a great area.
You can say it. It's all right.
Kings Cove?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great place. It's a really nice place. Bunch of good restaurants there, too.
It's actually the largest private marina in the entire Mississippi.
Doesn't surprise me in the least. It's beautiful. That's a great marina. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. No, and we're closer to our friends on the dock than we are. We know more about them than our neighbors. Because, we're Minnesota suburbanites. We don't really love to talk to each other. We just kind of wave. We wave, but we wave politely and go about our business. But dock mates, we're thicker than thieves. We hang out all together.
Oh, I don't think giving someone the finger is a nice wave, but, it's just me.
That's just us.
That's just us.
Do you like when you're sleeping, do you like that movement in the boat?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I do, but this place is so protected. It's the only time the boat moves is if there's a storm. So probably 5 or 6 times a year we'll go out and anchor out overnight on the river, and I love that sound. It's very relaxing.
Oh, I bet that's awesome.
What a whole deal. I agree with you.
Wonderful.
All right, Douglas MacArthur, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
I am looking forward to it. Stay cool, be cool, have fun.
We'll get her done, Pally. We'll take a break. Chelsea Hood will be with us at Laugh Camp Comedy Club. It is tonight and tomorrow night? Or excuse me, it's tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. Which nights is it?
I believe it is Friday and Saturday.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you're right. It's July 28th and 29th. I haven't caught up with that whole looking at my watch for my calendar because this watch didn't used to show me a calendar.
Yeah, well, Catherine set it up real nice now.
She did. So, yes, Chelsea Hood will join us. She will be in town tomorrow night and Saturday night, 8 o'clock, Laugh Camp Comedy Club, 490 Robert Street. Chelsea joins us right after this.
Hi, I'm Mike Bryant, and I'm driving my car safely and legally communicating on my phone. Minnesota law allows a driver to use their cell phone to make calls, text, listen to music or podcasts, and get directions by voice command or single-touch activation without holding your phone. Violations are very expensive.
The National Safety Council reports that cell phone use while driving leads to 1.6 million crashes per year, and nearly 400,000 injuries are caused by texting and driving. Not surprising, since 4 seconds with your eyes off the road is like driving the length of a football field blindfolded. And research shows that just 2 seconds increases the risk of an accident up to 24 times. Texting may only take a second, but it can end your life or ruin it forever. Please, drive safely and stay alive.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Corey Wisco of the Wellshire.
It's difficult to put in words the relationship that we have with North American Banking Company. You know, they've been there from the very beginning with our vision of providing quality dementia care for individuals, and they've been a partner all the way through. They really are there for us.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. It's time to beat the heat. This is Tom from my friends at Miller Marine and Power Lodge, giving you the keys to a cool lake breeze with clearance pricing on 2023 luxury pontoons, fishing boats, and more. Our dog days of summer won't last, and neither will their inventory. So do both of us a favor and go from floor to shore today with iconic Bennington pontoons and tri-toon packages at doorbuster pricing at Miller Marine in St. Cloud and all Power Lodge locations. Get your first cruise in by sunset. But don't wait on this limited time special. Power Lodge offers competitive financing with no money down. By the way, if you need delivery to your dock, their team of experts has you covered. Discover what thousands of our Minnesota neighbors have and explore our lakes and rivers in your own boat at Elite Savings. I said Elite Savings, darn it. Launch into adventure today at Miller Marine and Power Lodge. Just head to millermarine.com and powerlodge.com to see for yourself. Financing is available on approved credit. Freight and prep are not included in packages.
I like the winter. I don't like this. It's too sweaty in the summer. You know what I mean? I don't know. Has anyone here ever been a size 14 redhead? That's not our time. You know? Winter is our time. It's good. So sorry, skinny bitches, you can pack up your clavicles. We'll see you in April. This is my time. I've just been trapping sad boys off the internet with a crock pot. Pretty good. If you want to catch one, it's just a 2-pound chuck roast and a bag of baby carrots, and they're like, what? How did you do this? Oh, it's a can of soup, idiot. Stay a while.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Chelsea Hood, Laugh Camp Comedy Club, 490 Robert Street North. That is tomorrow night and Saturday night. Chelsea, how are you doing this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So you better not come to town if you don't like that hot weather, sister. I'm telling you.
Well, I was hoping you guys would have a little break. It's been just as bad down here in Chicago.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty much everywhere, and it is the end of July, and look, the end of July and August is very, very hot, and it just behave. So you're going to have to go out in the winter to balance it out, Chelsea. That's all there is to it.
I know, but I'm looking forward to it. I always have a good time when I'm in town.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I must say, are you from Chicago originally, or did you just move there?
I did. I grew up here in the suburbs. I'm not I'm a city person. I'm a suburban girl. I grew up down here, and I'm in Wisconsin and Michigan and Minnesota a lot. So I kind of just like to stick to my Midwestern people.
I understand that, but same story to you. I love Chicago. Spent a ton of time there. Lived there for a while, and just I love that town. Great place.
It is, and everyone thinks it's really violent right now, and I'm like, I don't know where you guys are hanging out. It's not any worse than anywhere else.
No, I heard that you're violent. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I am. You know what? Honestly, I'm a huge threat to society.
That checks out.
Chelsea Hood, threat to society. You guys know one another?
I don't know Chelsea. She's worked with a lot of people I know.
Right,
but we've never
right.
crossed paths, no.
That's the ticket. So how did it all start, Chelsea? I want to know. So you're sitting around and you're in junior high school and you go, you know what? These people aren't funny in the least. Is that what you did?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was telling the teachers that.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think I like every other comic I got picked on for not fitting in, you know, and then it's like a lot of us that just, you build up this sense of humor and you're like, I could laugh at myself. And that was it. I got an acting and theater degree, but I really just, I did stand up for like 8 years, and finally my improv for like 8 years, and my improv teacher was like, you hate this. You have to stop coming.
You hate this. We don't want to take your money anymore.
He was like, why do you keep coming? I was like, I don't know. People tell me I'm funny, but stand-up's too scary.
Well.
And so he pushed me out of the nest about 15 years ago, and I haven't really looked back. So
it's all working out in the end, so that's good.
Yeah, you know, me and my 19 jobs. But I think I'm taking a Greyhound up. I'm sure it'll be great.
Oh, I don't think there's any gray. What could be? My luck, the last time, it's been a long time since I've been on a Greyhound, Chelsea, got to be honest with you. But the last time I was on a Greyhound bus going up to, matter of fact, Long Prairie, Minnesota, where I was born, to visit my family up there, my aunt and uncle. The entire 2-hour drive on the Greyhound bus, there was a guy in the very back playing guitar and singing country songs. The whole way, Chelsea.
That's intense.
And it wasn't like he was... Yeah, he wasn't Don, what's his name? Who's that great country singer, Don, whatever the hell.
Quixote?
Yes, Don Quixote. That's exactly who it is.
So he lacked a little talent, is what you're saying.
I don't believe in virginity as common as it used to be. That guy. Really good singer. But anyway, moving back to horseshit guitar players, and we'll get beyond that. And we'll talk about Laugh Camp Comedy Club. Now, I did 2 hours of it, Chelsea. It was like, oh, my God, would you please just take... Okay, break time.
Yeah. Intermission.
You know, you talk about the Greyhounds and stuff. I don't think people realize like how tough the road really can be. It sucks. Like tonight, I'm flying to Boise, and my hotel, I looked it up online. The first Yelp review said, "Don't."
Oh God.
Don't. Just don't.
Oh God.
And I'm like, nope, that's where I am staying tonight. Roaches and all. That's where I'm at. So.
Well, the roach.
Oh yeah, that was one of mine in Fargo. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's the oil rig guys bringing in racks of like Natty Light at 6 a.m.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Did you play the cellar in Fargo? Is that where you were at?
I sure did.
Yeah.
It's a great little room.
I was talking to a comic this weekend about Fargo because he has done it before, and he said, man, the first hotel, I brought the family with me, and we got there, and my wife's like, what are you doing with your life? We're not staying at this hotel. We have children.
Oh.
There's guys like, smoking off of tinfoil out in the freaking parking lot. Like, no, there's no way.
That's the hotel right across the street from the mall. That's the same one I stayed at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's bad. It's so bad.
I do love the fact.
I mean, the road is like, it's a whole beast. My control arms went out on my car, so unless any of you moonlight as a mechanic outside of your radio existence. But, so I was like, well, we're going to have a Greyhound adventure. Mm-hmm. But the road is a wild place. You always see a lot of characters. I'm sure you guys are familiar with all of them, but it's just kind of like, are you going to murder me, or am I going to make it to tell this story on stage? Roll of the dice.
It's got to be. I never did that. It's got to be difficult to constantly be on the road, isn't it? Or do you adjust to it eventually?
I don't think anybody adjusts to it.
Yeah.
I think you just get more weird.
Okay, well,
I mean, look at all the older guy comics that have been doing it for 30 years. It's like we can't even keep a shirt on Bert. Everything's lost in the
How's the movie doing? That's what I want to know. But in any case, yeah, it's. I don't think people do understand that. Is it? Oh, here's a question I have for both of you. Is it hard? Because I know when you're on the road, you got to be doing some writing on the road. There's no question. Otherwise, you'd never get anything done. But is it hard to write material in a hotel because it's so foreign and noisy and all the rest of it?
For me, I get up every day and I have a game plan. I go to a coffee shop, I find a brewery, I get a bird scooter, and I take my camera and I spend the first hour of my day just out taking pictures of the city and just enjoying the day. I miss my family and I kind of want to be in my own home. So I might as well make the most of it. But then, I can't just sit in a hotel room. It's not like you wake up at 10 and you're like, well, the show starts in 9 hours. I guess I'll just sit here. Because I have to go out and do something. My mind, I get stir crazy if I sit in a hotel room too long. So writing, I write every day. So for me, I got to go find a communal place and just sit down with a pen and a piece of paper.
Yeah, Chelsea, you agree with that?
Yeah, you got to go do something.
Yeah.
You got to do something. And I learned that from the guys that I toured with early on that had been doing it for a long time. You have to get out of the room. You can't just sit in there and think about what you're really doing, or all of a sudden you're like, why do I leave my friends and family every weekend?
Yeah.
It's just as bad. But I think it can be great. You get to go out, you get to have local coffee. You get to have local, there's a lot of great local breakfast spots that open up. And I think if you invest your energy into the town while you're there, it just kind of makes the shows feel better. You don't feel like you're just coming in there to take their money and leave.
Yeah.
I like that part. I like going out and kind of figuring out what makes the city what it is during the day. I don't take photos, but I love that idea. Just rip a bird scooter around. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's funny. You don't take, because I don't take photos either. And I don't even know why. I don't take pictures. It's weird.
You know what it is? It's because I don't want to be the person that gets home and goes, hey, do you want to see these pictures of buildings I took in Minnesota?
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Because people are like, no, I'm good.
You do have to be careful not falling into that trap, because I take family vacations. It's me, my sister, my brother-in-law, my niece, and my daughter. And there's amazing pictures of the four of them, but not me. Because I'm the one who's always taking the photo. And then my sister goes, well, no, you're in the photo. We knew you're the one who took it.
I can relate to that so much. If I die tomorrow, my daughter will think I never wanted to be around her ever.
Yeah.
There is no proof that me and my daughter ever hang out.
It's just Go-Go and her dad. That's it.
It's just Go-Go and her dad constantly. I relate.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, whatever.
God, I was just looking at your list on here, Chelsea. You have worked every damn place. Comedy Store, Caroline's, the House of Blues, the Improv.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's all really taken off. Just kidding.
I'm telling you, things are just blowing up. But I mean, it's got to be a thrill the first time you work those places.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember all those places have that kind of magic.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, because I started out down in Texas. I was living down there. That's when I started stand-up. And then I lived in New York, and then I came back to Chicago. So I've done 5 years in each scene. Mm-hmm. And you get to see all of these spaces that are sort of hollowed ground. The one that is the coolest is probably when you go into the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And they take you back into the back of what used to be Richard Pryor's essentially dressing room. And he had a custom cocaine table built.
Oh, neat.
Okay. All right.
And you're standing there and all the comics are like, I mean, isn't it amazing? And you're like, this industry needs a makeover.
Yeah.
This needs a renovation. I'm going to list it and leave it.
Yeah, absolutely. It just, some of it is you can feel the energy of the people that have come before you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not it all rubs off on you because now comedy happens on TikTok, but.
Yeah, that's true. But I have heard I think there's a TV show about the fact that the Comedy Store is haunted.
I believe that.
Yeah, Showtime just did something about the Comedy Store. I think it came out 3 years ago.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
And it was almost like a 5-part docuseries, I believe it was. Something like that.
I think it'd be great just sitting there and all of a sudden bar stools are flying through the air. That's got to be a thrill. Mm-hmm. It's got to be a good time had by all.
Yeah. Could you imagine how, rattled the ghost of Richard Pryor must be with that custom cocaine table in the back of the Comedy Store?
And the attention that they would need. A comedian's ghost, they just constantly need attention.
You're like, Richard, it's 2:30, man. I got to pick up the kids. He's like, boo, no, stop it. Leave me alone.
I'm glad you guys are talking about Richard because I've always wanted to ask comedians this because I've met both of Richard Pryor's kids. Great people. Do you think it's weird that Richard Pryor, or did he have nothing to do with the fact that they're good people? I mean, he didn't present the best example as a father. There's no question about that. But I'm sure you guys have either worked with or met both his children, right? Oh, you never have?
I haven't.
No, I haven't.
They're both really nice. And I keep thinking to myself, how the hell did you turn out to be such nice people?
Let's be honest. I mean, if he's traveling as much as he was,
Never around?
Was he really raising his babies?
Oh, I'm sure he wasn't. But I mean, that usually has, that weighs kind of heavy on some people. But Rain could not be sweeter. And Richard Jr. is just busting his ass to try to make it. Really nice people. I was very impressed with both of them.
Yeah, usually you rebel 180 from where your parents were at. You know, like if your parents are drug runners, you go to 9th grade in a suit and tie with a briefcase. You know, like you just do completely different. And I see my daughter. Like, you know, I brought this up the other day that the first time I was ever arrested, I was 9 years old. The first time I was put in the back of a cop car, I was 9. And my daughter refuses to swear, and she's 15. Like, won't use bad language. She won't sneak out of the house. She doesn't want to get in trouble. And it's just, I guess she just saw whatever it was in her family, like, I'm not going to be that. And my only way to rebel is to just be a good person.
Yep. You might be 100% right about that. I'm not going to be like that, no question. All right, Chelsea, I got to be honest with you. I've been, we've not met. I don't think we've ever met, have we?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but how many guys, and I know there's so many lame guys out there, how many people have said to you, hey, can I get in the hood? Come on.
Oh, man.
I knew it.
I just went back to high school real quick.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I thought of that.
Oh, I guarantee you she's put up with that her whole life.
I'm so sorry, Chelsea,
Let me
for
get in
the
the
human
hood.
race.
Okay. It gets worse. My high school computer login was CHOOD.
Oh.
And it doesn't stay chud for very long. You know what I mean?
I am so sorry. Humans are the worst.
Well, the fact you say that way
teenage
for
boys are my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was thinking about that. Well, next time you come to town, you have to come in early and come in and do the show live. It'd be great to have you on.
Yeah, well, come hang out.
Well, please
tell me where to eat breakfast. That's my favorite part of the road is breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Is that true? I bet you that is
great.
true. I bet you that is true. Eating breakfast is the best part of being on the road. Mo, definitely. Chelsea Hood, ladies and gentlemen, Laugh Camp Comedy Club, 490 Robert Street North. It's tomorrow night and Saturday night, 8 o'clock each night. Chelsea, been great having you on. You have a wonderful attitude. Have a great time in town. And like I said, next time, come on in.
Hey, thanks. I'd love to meet y'all. You guys have a great weekend.
You too, Chelsea.
All right, bye-bye.
Chelsea Hood. Isn't that sad that as a teenage boy at one point in my life, I know that guys would go up there and go, hey, let me get in the hood.
Let me check under the hood.
Yeah, check under the hood. Absolutely.
Oh, that's so bleak.
Oh, are you clever? Are you clever, are you?
Oh, let me just take my top off now.
If you had a transcript of all the things that came out of your mouth between the ages of like 11 and 17, wouldn't you just die?
I would die. I would actually die. That's why I feel so bad for kiddos that are on reality shows.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be brutal to look back at that.
I would think so, yes.
I was watching old clips of Meet the Osbournes, and Kelly Osbourne's the daughter. It's brutal. The things she'd said is just like, oh, that's got to be mortifying.
I would imagine.
Screaming at Ozzy. The name you're trying to think of, we had about 5 messages. Don Williams.
Don Williams, that's exactly who I was thinking of. One of the great singers of all time. I don't believe virginity is as common as it used to be. He's wonderful. That's a horrible impression of him. I'd like you to know that.
Well, it wasn't that bad because we had Bernie, Gary, Joe, and Kim all write in about it. So it wasn't that bad of an impression.
And they all said that you're a disaster. Is that
They
what
said,
you're saying?
Don Williams, by the way, Brittany, you're carrying the show today.
Yeah, carrying it into hell.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's just be honest with ourselves, shall we? No, I'm sure everything is just magnificent. Right?
Don Williams,
No, what a talent. My mother loved Don Williams. Well, got to be honest with you, he's a damn good singer. He's a very, very good singer. You guys know who I'm talking about?
I didn't know, but now that I'm looking at photos of him, man, nobody pulls off some lamb chop sideburns like old Don Williams.
Oh, yeah, he had the big lamb chops.
Wow.
Holy buckets.
He always did, too.
Those are some landing strips.
They are indeed, but a hell of a talent.
Yeah, this guy looks like he couldn't come within 500 feet of a school.
Well, I got to agree with that.
He's very much so. He's got the creep factor going on. I mean, probably a great singer, but I don't know. It's the way he looks into that camera with them big chops and then that cigarette in his hand. I don't know about this guy.
I was gonna say I don't get the creep vibe from him, but I do get that you definitely smell like cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely smell like cigarettes.
But
and like oiled leather.
As a woman, I will tell you something. You would love his song, "I Believe in You." It is a very, very sweet song. It's a country vibe. He's got you guys ever heard his voice?
No.
He's got a phenomenal singing voice.
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything. I maybe by accident I've been around it, but we should definitely. I'll have to look into that.
He has a great song. It goes, I believe in babies. I believe in old folks. I believe in this, but I believe in you.
Give me 30 seconds. Let me see if I can find this. And we can
you got it, Home Smoke. We'll move on to another story and come back and get a little Don Williams on. I think you like his voice. I really do. There are these hot weather hacks. Do you know anything about that?
No, okay. Full disclosure, I feel like I know one.
Oh, you do?
Is like make sure your fan is going the right direction on your ceiling.
Why wouldn't it?
No, because you can switch. You switch from winter
I know,
to summer.
but you'd either suck the heat up to the ceiling or you don't.
Yeah, so like...
How would you not know you're doing that or not?
Well, I feel like it would be really easy to not go switch your ceiling fan.
It's right there next to the light switch.
No, it's usually attached to
the cheap ones like you got.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, yours? I'm going to have... I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
She goes, I don't believe you.
I bet if I text Catherine, the little thing is on the ceiling fan.
I don't think we have any ceiling fans in our house.
Dang-a-ling.
I don't think
Not in Florida?
Oh, yeah, in Florida. Yeah, that's true.
Everyone
But they come on when you turn the light on.
I know, but... You have to switch which way it's going in Florida. I mean, every fan has on the fan. You switch if it goes clockwise or counterclockwise.
See, there are some that you don't have to do that. No, I'm just look. I don't know anything about fans.
Florida is always hot, so I don't know why you'd even have that
Florida.
option.
You don't want to be in Florida right now. I can promise you that.
Somebody messaged us about how hot it is, and they said, "I live in Florida. Quit your whining." And then Joe, of course, wrote Satan's beehole. So
Satan's butthole. Well, that's got to be Phoenix right now, isn't it? Satan's butthole.
Yeah.
It's hotter than a sumbitch in Phoenix.
Yeah, there was a picture of like park rangers standing next to a thermometer that said 138.
Was that in Death Valley?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like that,
Oh yeah.
Here you go. A little bit of Don Williams.
Love this guy.
You've got a really
What a voice.
It's buttery.
Isn't that phenomenal?
Now you quit calling him a pervert.
Yeah, Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy.
Stabbing him right in the back.
I bet there's a couple of creeps that are also really good at long jumping. But just because this guy can sing doesn't mean he's not a creep. Chris Brown can dance, but he likes to hit girls too.
That's true.
Well, there you go.
We are multifaceted.
I'm glad you guys agree that because I guarantee you some radio people would go, he's okay.
No,
he's blowing out your ass. He's a
beautiful voice.
Great singer.
That's straight up butter. Put that on a roll.
Yeah. Is he still around?
No, died 2017.
Did he really? Damn it. Don, you son of a bitch.
How dare you?
What are you doing dying? You're far too good a singer. But his songs were always about emotion and not like an over the, I feel horrible. Not like that.
Yeah.
The very sweet side to him. It just, like I said, I believe in all these things, but most of all, I believe in you. What a nice message that is.
I'm mad at it. I think his voice is beautiful.
See, I did that, Catherine. I went, I believe in you. And she went, yeah, well.
Yeah, well, what do you want for dinner?
Yeah, good for you, Tom.
Go on, get a ladder and switch the direction of our fans.
Oh, God, what a life. That's all I have to say. Okay, what?
I was going to say, she been feeling better, though?
Yes, she does feel better now, thank God. Well, it was a couple of weeks, man. It was not good. No. 10 hot weather hacks. Now, you said you knew one?
I feel like the fan's going to be on there. I feel like that's on every list is make sure the fan's going there right now.
Any ideas, Rudy?
No, I suppose they probably have the stupid easy one like, make sure you drink a lot of water and then don't stay outside in the middle of the afternoon. If you get sunburned, put on some sunblock. Thanks for the hack. I appreciate
that stupid.
Yeah, right.
I like your dumb person voice.
That's a good voice, a dumb person. You know what else? It's a hot summer for most of the country, excessively hot in some areas, so some people are desperate for anything that can help them keep cool. There's a collection of hot weather hacks making the rounds online. And like most hacks, some of them are clever, some of them are stupid, and very few of them are actually useful. So your biggest hot weather hacks, buckle your seatbelt when you leave your car. So when you get back in, the metal buckle won't be so hot, it'll burn you. That's a great idea because it's covered by plastic and doesn't have the sun beating right down on it.
Oh, I get, yes. Okay, the metal piece, yes.
The metal piece, absolutely. If your home's HVAC system is struggling to keep your house cool, it's possibly a dirty filter. Well, how stupid do you have to be not to know that?
Yeah.
If it's not working, it means the filter's filthy.
I have to trust that happens.
No, okay. Yeah, there you go. You've probably heard this. Oh, by the way, it's interesting that kind of brought up because Catherine just was talking about the outdoor filters and the indoor filters, I mean.
Yeah.
She said they were clean as a whistle 30 days ago, and now they're just filthy because all this smoke.
Oh.
She said it's like thick in there. It's really nasty. You've probably heard this one. Make sure your fan. Here it is, the fan.
I feel like that's everywhere.
Make sure your fan is switched to spin counterclockwise, create a downdraft, and push cooler air back toward you. But I have a question.
Yeah.
So hot air is heavier than cooler air. So you have to push it down from the ceiling. How hard do you have to push it to get through the hot air? That's got to be a bitch, I would think.
I would think so.
You think? There's usually a switch at the base. That's what they're talking about, not that cheap shit you have at your house.
Base of the fan, sir.
No, they mean it right over here.
No, they don't.
Lift it on the wall.
You are so wrong.
Click.
You are, there's...
Listen, I can't reach the cord.
There's two things in your life you've been wrong about. The throw-up bucket and
working
now
with
this.
you.
Well, yeah, that's a huge...
Okay, three.
Three.
Okay, there are three.
Thrice. You've been thrice wrong.
Thrice wrong. I like that. You've been thrice wrong. Okay, so you were right. Counterclockwise, create a downdraft, push colder air toward you. When you start driving, don't roll down all the windows. Only roll down the driver's side and passenger windows, and the cross breeze is much stronger. Why would you roll the... Every car has air conditioning now, doesn't it?
Yeah, but sometimes it takes, if it's this hot, it takes a
too
while
long?
for
Really?
some cars to start.
So what I do is go out a little early and start it up, and then get in it once it's cool.
You've never done that.
I've never done what?
You've never gone and start your car early.
No, but I send other people out. Here's a 5.
Does your vehicle? I bet Doug Sprinthal could probably set this up for you because you have the Mustang, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I have like a Ford app on my phone.
Yeah.
I start my vehicle from the studio before I go out there to cool it down or warm it up, and yeah, it's amazing. It's awesome.
Be nice, 1%er over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that Model T you got's pretty good, though.
I gotta wind it up first.
Yeah. Talk about 1% who drives a friggin' Corvette and an Audi. Get out of here.
Yeah. Oh, you guys, Tom and Rudy, are just...
I was hoping your memory wasn't that good.
Honey, I've got a key. Is it to the Rolls or the Audi? I don't know which one it is. Good God.
Okay, can I clarify, though? The only reason we say the names of the car is because we treat them pretty much like they're both ours. Mm-hmm. So, like, we can't just say Justin's car or my car because one's the big one, one's the smaller one. Okay. And so that's why, and I hate that it sounds like that, but, like, we've never thought of, like, a different name, but I hate that. It sounds so stupid.
That's kind of negative.
Thank you.
Sounds so stupid.
Yeah.
We have to take a break. Be right back. Kristyn Burtt will join us. All kinds of good stuff to talk about. See, I'm telling you, you guys just walked into it. Every day the show's going to start with, get your head out of your ass and cheer up. I love these shows.
I like it, yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
The good conversations going. It's magnificent. Yeah. Chelsea Hood did a great job. She's in town tomorrow night and Saturday at the Laugh Camp. So, yeah, very nice person. She seemed like a very, very pleasant person.
She seems so lovely.
Wonderful.
Indeed. On MyPillow's 20-year anniversary with over 80 million pillows sold, Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank each and every one of you by giving you the lowest price in history on their new MyPillows. Queen-size MyPillow's regular price is $69.98, now only $19.98, and just $10 more for king-size. MyPillow's patented fill adjusts your exact level of needs, the individual needs we're talking about here. To help you get the best sleep ever, go to MyPillow.com and click on the radio podcast square to get Mike's amazing offer on the queen-size pillow for only $19.98. Enter promo code TOM. In addition to this very special offer, the anniversary offer we're talking about here, of course, on the MyPillows, you'll also receive a deep discount on all MyPillow products such as bed sheets, mattress toppers, pet beds, mattresses, My Slippers, and so much more. Take advantage of the biggest sale in MyPillow history. Go to MyPillow.com and use promo code Tom to take advantage of Mike's special offer on his MyPillow. That is MyPillow.com, promo code Tom.
Hi, I'm Mike Bryant, and I'm driving my car safely and legally communicating on my phone. Minnesota law allows a driver to use their cell phone to make calls, text, listen to music or podcasts, and get directions by voice command or single-touch activation without holding your phone. Violations are very expensive.
The National Safety Council reports that cell phone use while driving leads to 1.6 million crashes per year, and nearly 400,000 injuries are caused by texting and driving. Not surprising, since 4 seconds with your eyes off the road is like driving the length of a football field blindfolded. And research shows that just 2 seconds increases the risk of an accident up to 24 times. Texting may only take a second, but it can end your life or ruin it forever. Please drive safely and stay alive.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
What can Hubbard Interactive do for your business? Let's take a listen and find out what they did for one local company, Steve the Window Guy.
I'm Sally, and I'm a digital brand strategist here at Hubbard Interactive. We met with Melissa from Steve the Window Guy, and she was looking for help with their video advertising strategy. So we helped build a comprehensive plan for streaming TV and YouTube ads.
And Melissa, tell us how it's been getting your message out with help from Hubbard Interactive.
I've been working with them for 5 years, and what I've learned is that they have both the experience and the depth inside their team to help me solve any creative marketing challenge that I've got. So over the years, I've moved from streaming TV to YouTube ads, and now we're moving towards SEO. And I'm loving the results that I'm seeing.
Is there anything else you want business owners out there to know about Hubbard Interactive?
I am so grateful for the entire team at Hubbard Interactive for effortlessly understanding our business and our marketing vision, and then always delivering only the best results.
To find out how our experts can help your business grow, get in touch today at hubbardinteractive.com.
Do we have to have Kristyn on? Oh, wait a minute. She's already up.
Oh, awkward. Get rid of her.
Get rid of her. What's with the sparkly dress today? What's that all about?
It's cute.
It's a tank top, but
Oh, it is.
There's method to my madness on this.
Okay.
I am cleaning up my closet, and so I'm test driving shirts on the show. And if I like it,
Test driving.
keep it. And if I don't like it, then we put it in the, like, either I sell it or I give it away.
Pile. Can we step back a little? Let's see. Where's the length at? Oh, it's cute. I like it. I would say the only thing it falls in is a little too nice to be like casual. So it'd definitely be more of like.
I usually wear it to like a red carpet situation. Like I have like a jacket that goes and like a skirt, or I wear it to like a holiday party.
Perfect. You need it. Keep it. It's in.
But I might wear totally inappropriate things on the morning show.
That's fine.
No big deal.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that thing that you two and Catherine and Alex all do, but I can't do it. When you talk, you do this. Yeah, I was talking to the guy, and you bobble head back and forth. I can't do it. Something's out of whack. I don't know. I just can't do it.
Maybe our spines are not aligned.
Maybe that's what it is.
Wiggle.
You know, I was talking to the guy, and he told me.
I got a lot of emails about this fan situation.
Oh, the fan on the ceiling? You mean your fans or the fan on the ceiling?
The fans. I don't have fans.
You don't have any fans?
Beverly? Sorry, don't write in. That's my mom.
Yeah, the only fan is Beverly.
People are saying you're wrong for this one. Even Officer Dave wrote in and said, "Hi, Brittany. Sorry, Tom. I got to side with the disaster on the ceiling fan."
Yeah, but you guys buy the cheap ones. That's the problem.
There was one person that said that they have it on a button on their remote.
Yeah. I have two. I have one in like my regular guest room, and then I have one in my bedroom. And my one in my bedroom has the remote with the option to go back and forth, but the cheap one in my guest room has the switch up on the top. So I got both.
Controversial statement coming here. I have two with the remote. I hate the remote. I hate trying to find the remote. I hate it hanging on the wall. I hate the remote. I think it's dumb. I hate when you have to add batteries.
Put it in a drawer, for Christ's sake.
Adding batteries to something is dumb. God. Running out of battery. I hate the remote. I think the remote's dumb.
So how do you watch television?
Prayer.
Yeah, that's a pile of BS, and everybody knows it. I hate the remote. They made that up.
Don't get me started about the Apple remote. I haven't seen that thing since
What's an Apple remote?
2021. The tiny little Apple remote.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, like that thing's gone to us.
What's it for?
The Apple TV.
Oh, it is for the TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they have the stand that you can put on like the
Ew.
faceplate
Ew.
that goes on the actual light switch itself, and then you just leave the remote in there and you walk by, you hit the button, it turns the light off and on, and then
Ew.
it has the. What do you mean, ew? It's like
I don't
the-
want to stand somewhere. That's so tacky.
No, it's not. It goes on the light switch. It just sits on the wall.
I know. I'll send you pictures.
I had that for my ceiling fan. You know what I
Yes.
did?
Uh-huh.
I got rid of the ceiling fan because I hated it.
Yes. I think the remote's tacky. I hate it on the wall. People run into it and fall.
What kind of friends do you have that run into your walls when they
Brittany.
come over?
Brittany
Oh,
is
that's
that
not
friend.
friends.
Let me show
Okay.
you bruises I have
Yeah,
from.
see.
I'm like a clumsy person, but no, I don't like the remote. I don't like added things for no reason. I doesn't need a remote.
I just picture EMT standing outside of Brittany's house,
Yeah.
just smoking cigarettes. Like, what happened in there, Don? Well, we got another one. She ran into another fan
Whoa.
remote. Oh, again? When are they ever going to stop with the fan remotes on the wall? I know.
Smaller
son of a bitch.
than this.
I know exactly.
I
Tom.
don't like it.
It's smaller than this.
I think it's tacky. I don't like it. Whatever.
My hot take on this whole controversial topic is that ceiling fans are ugly, and that's why I got rid of mine in
Yeah,
my
but
house.
you gotta have them.
You don't have to have them.
Rudy he was instead in a state of shock. He could not speak.
See, I'm sorry. I love them. I don't know I love having a ceiling fan.
Yeah, that's my controversial hot take. I just took them out.
I did not know that people had such strong opinions about ceiling fans. I mean, it's a ceiling fan, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're all getting this out. We can draw
You know what I
lines
do?
in the sand.
There's a lot of aggravation and.
I have a friend that does this too. I can have him go install at your house a voice-activated remote. We just walk in and go, Simsalabim, and it'll start circling the room.
Remember the clap on?
Yeah, the clap on and clap off. The clapper.
It was so funny because they'd be like laying in bed peacefully, and then the husband or wife would just go,
Bup.
like, hate that. I hate that. My husband
That would
has.
happen to me, and I'd be awake all night. I'd be totally asleep. My husband would be clapping on and clapping off, and I'd be like, now I can't sleep.
Why would you want that? That clapper sounds
Why
like a
is this such
terrible.
a big deal to you guys?
The clapper's hilarious to think about that concept.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
It's violent.
It's just unnecessary.
You know, we got to get rid of these damn doorknobs.
I do hate.
What?
My husband has set up the Alexa to
What's
turn.
an Alexa? You just said it on in the
Yeah, but I
mic.
said it confusing enough that she wouldn't hear it.
Oh, so it wouldn't hear it at your house.
Yeah, so
Okay.
because they usually are listening there, and then I find out that I angered her.
Do you think that's on at your house right now?
Don't, Thomas Barnard. Don't do
Why
it.
not?
Don't you do it.
Play Kick Out the Jams, Mother Effer. See, I didn't say the other part, though.
That's actually kind of funny.
Just all of a sudden starts playing at the house.
Well, my husband has her set up to do a bunch of things. You know how annoying it is to be in mid-conversation and be like, "Meh, turn on the light. Like, why can't I just walk over and flip the light on? It's all these things.
Has your Alexa started having other people talk through the Alexa
Yes.
yet? Have you been hacked?
No.
Brittany, it's Catman calling you through your remote.
I would love that. The reason to get rid of her. I think
Did you ever see the scary one of the Alexa in the baby's room and like a guy had hacked in and
Oh,
was
yeah.
like talking to the baby?
Yep.
I think it was the baby monitor. Like that was a big thing. Then we get these. Now we have like these brands that swear they're like 4 times encrypted. That's a big thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, hackers will never get through.
Oh, yeah. They're really bad at that.
Never.
Never. That's why I wouldn't even let my husband name our camera what it was because I was like, what if they get through? We can't let them know. So, yeah.
Yeah, my brother does that too. My brother names his like Wi-Fi like protein shake and like absurd things. So people don't know it's his house.
You guys got to get out of the house once in a while, for Christ's sake. You're naming your remotes?
We have to name your cameras different
Oh,
things.
your cameras. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or your Wi-Fi connection.
All right. So what's new in your business out there, sister?
All right. So Mattel.
All right. She goes, all right.
Wait, you're ready for this? Mattel sees dollar signs.
Oh, yeah.
They are super excited that already Barbie has made over $380 million in the first 5 days.
God.
And they have got a ton of IP properties, which means, very famous toys that we all recognize,
Right.
ready to go, scripts. Some of them have actors, some of them have directors attached. So here's what's coming. You guys ready for this? There's a whole list. Okay, first of all, Barney. And Barney is going to be kind of dark and edgy.
The
It's not
dinosaur?
the iconic purple dinosaur.
Okay.
It's going to be live action, and they're calling it sort of an A24 film. So that's kind of like Oscar fare, kind of, but very surrealistic. And they said it's going to be darker and it's going to be unique.
Interesting.
Kind of interesting. All right. How about Polly Pocket? And it's going to star Lily Collins. So for anyone who watched Emily in Paris, that's Phil Collins' daughter. That's coming. And it's directed by Lena Dunham. So that's going to be controversial because some people don't love her.
Interesting.
Hot Wheels, produced by J.J. Abrams, which that one feels like, I don't know why that hasn't been done already. Hot Wheels seems really, really obvious, especially after Fast and the Furious. They're calling it grounded and gritty.
I mean, it's like Cars, right? Like, because Cars was like Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels Cars.
No, I mean like the movie Cars. Like, I feel like that's been done.
They're not going in Cars direction. They're going to go gritty.
Gritty. Okay.
Gritty, yeah. So, see, and this is the thing. You have to remember, anyone who saw Barbie knows that it wasn't geared towards kids. They're going towards the nostalgia audience. They're looking for like more adult, kind of like darker humor, edgy, with all these properties. Rock'em Sock'em Robots with Vin Diesel starring.
No, there's not a movie make.
I thought they kind of already did something like that with Hugh Jackman. It wasn't called Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but don't you remember that? It was actually a good movie. Hugh Jackman played a guy who like got in a robot and then fought other guys in robots, I believe, wasn't it?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah, it was not that bad. I'd have to look it up, but decent movie.
But by the way, Vin Diesel, Mattel does a toy fair where they like display all their toys to the buyers and everything else. I did toy fair with Vin Diesel back in the day. I don't know if I've told this story before, but he had like a
shark.
He was a shark.
Yeah.
So I love that he's coming back to his roots. American Girl, which I think is really obvious. This one is going to be a family comedy. Somehow it'll probably involve the dolls that are now adults. I don't know, but family comedy. Magic 8 Ball. Do you want to see a movie about the Magic 8 Ball?
No.
What the hell would an hour and a half to 2 hours of that?
It's going to be a PG-13 thriller. So my imagination, coming off of Haunted Mansion, they're going to try and find a story around a Magic 8 Ball like they did around Haunted Mansion.
Sure.
I'm coming to get you. Shows up on the Magic 8 Ball.
Should we make this movie? Signs say no.
Yeah, signs say no.
Signs say no. How about Masters of the Universe? This one's already in development. They're trying to find a studio.
They already did it once and it sucked. Dolph Lundgren played He-Man and it sucked. So let's not go down that route.
What an actor.
Well, they are. This one, I kind of like this one because it's like old school and it stars an actor whom people love. Major Matt Mason, that was the Mattel astronaut action figure from the 1960s. Who do you think should star in that? He lives and works on the moon.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Oh.
Tom Hanks is attached to it right now. And then you've got Wishbone, which is about the literary Jack Russell Terrier who became famous in PBS in the 90s. I don't remember Wishbone.
What's the story, Wishbone? And he would run around and they would have like a theme of the book and he'd be like wearing little costumes if whatever it is. Like if it was like Tom Sawyer, he'd be wearing his little ripped pants. Yeah, Wishbone was the thing.
I don't remember that one. Matchbox to go along with Hot Wheels. And that's going to be an action film based on the legendary toy cars. Thomas and Friends. It's going to be a fantasy film based on the children's animated train series. How about this one? Viewmaster.
What?
No.
Viewmaster. The picture viewer.
This is all terrible ideas.
They're
Kristyn.
making all of these movies?
Yes, these are all in development. And here's the last one, Christmas Balloon. It's not a toy. I'm sure Mattel will find a way to make a toy, but it's based on the true story of when Mattel donated toys to help make a young girl's dream come true after she tied her Christmas list to a balloon that was found by a grieving couple who worked with the toy company to fulfill the girl's wishes. So they're going to make a family drama around that one. That one could be cute.
This all is terrible. This is a terrible idea. It actually makes me hate that I liked Barbie because it's sparking.
And you know what makes me mad? Because this was a weekend where we talked about Oppenheimer and Barbie being these great original films. It's why people went to the movies. And they're already looking to do a sequel, a second and third movie to Barbie. I mean, of course, I get it. They want to make the money. But Greta Gerwig, who created the script with her husband and then directed the film, is like, I don't think I have another film in me with Barbie. Like, that was her masterpiece. That was it. And to me, that was a one and done. Because I don't know where you take this story
No, thank
after you after this.
Real quick, the Hugh Jackman movie I was thinking of, Real Steel.
Real Steel, eh?
Decent movie. Tom, I think you'd like it. If you like a good action movie, Hugh Jackman is awesome in this movie.
I am sick to death of action movies. So
Same.
that's
Really?
the problem. So back in the day, I probably would have liked it. I would like to go see a movie that has actual content, where maybe I could learn something.
Sure.
I'm really tired of these. You know, I'm not saying they aim them all at imbeciles. That's not what I'm saying, but it comes close. It's
Well,
like,
you know what
Jesus.
it is? They need sure bets at the box office, and that's what it is. So they're figuring, Mattel's figuring if we do familiar IP properties, things that people grew up with, people that are familiar with, then we know, hopefully, that we're going to make $100 million. But like, let's take a look at some of the films this summer. Indiana Jones didn't do well.
No.
Mission Impossible didn't do well. Neither did The Flash. And those are all well-known properties.
Right.
Sequels. People are tired.
There's that movie out there. It's called Nefarious. It's not a brilliant movie or anything, but the acting in it is so incredibly good, but nobody's ever heard of it because people don't want to go see movies like that anymore. I mean, this guy nails that role of being a psychopath. It's really something to watch. It's brilliant
It
acting.
doesn't have the marketing dollars behind it either.
No,
Like,
it doesn't.
The studios didn't bother to promote it, and you go, "What's Nefarious?" And then it winds up on a streamer. And to me, I'll watch a movie like that and go, "Did that even make it to the theaters, or
I don't
was
know
it
if it
just
did.
created straight for streaming?"
Yeah, I don't know even if it made it. I just happened upon it one day, and I didn't like the logo because it made it look like it was way over the top science fiction.
Yeah.
Blah blah. I don't like the promotion of it. The acting in it is the reason I loved it so much. It was well written, but there's not a lot of acting when everybody's bang, pow, boom. Who gives a rat's ass? Whatever.
You got to kind of find those indie films
Yeah,
during
you
this
do.
time right
Yeah,
now.
you do.
Yeah, because especially during the height of Marvel, I was so tired of just seeing everything blow up and people flying through the air. I went down to the Uptown Theater where they play a lot of indie films, and I was like, I just need to see something that is not on anybody's radar. And I came across a movie called The Hunt for the Wilder People. And it is from New Zealand, and it happened. I didn't know who this guy was. Rhys Darby, who happens to be
I like Rhys Darby.
all the guys from What We Do in the Shadows. I had no idea. One of the best movies I've ever seen. When people ask for a recommendation of something that's off the radar, that's the movie I always tell them to go watch.
Yeah, and it's interesting this summer that the indie box office is doing rather well with
Good.
Theater Camp and
Good.
Asteroid City. And
Another good
right
movie.
now, the only thing that's being greenlit in terms of TV and film are independent projects. So because of the SAG strike, so I'm just hoping we see a resurgence of that because we got a lot of great indie films in the 90s when that was happening. I'd love to see it again, honestly, because it brought us a whole host of new stars in Hollywood. And right now, I'm like, it's the same 5 people over and over again doing franchises.
I have a question for you about that in your business. I mean, obviously, in his era, Marlon Brando was the greatest actor ever born. There's no question about it. We don't really have that anymore. Is there one greatest actor out there right now?
I think a lot of people would probably say Tom Hanks.
I mean, he's a good actor, but he's not a very good dramatic actor.
He's got a couple Oscars.
He does. No, I know. I got nothing against Tom
I
Hanks.
mean,
don't
one
get
of
me
them
wrong.
was for Philadelphia, which would never get made today. The way, if you look at the movie doesn't age very well.
No.
And of course, Forrest Gump was more comedy. So, I mean, but they're really, and we've talked about this. Hollywood has not created a new, the next generation of movie stars.
No.
We really don't have a
exactly
great
right.
millennial or Gen Z movie star because of the way things have changed in Hollywood. There's no real studio system anymore.
Right.
There's not the ability to, every summer go, oh, the new Tom Hanks film is out. We don't go, oh, look, the new Timothy Chalamet film is out. You know what I mean? And he's really popular with Gen Z, but you're not I'm going to this movie because of Timothy Chalamet.
No, I understand that. I don't know. Well, I know why we got away from it because they want to make even more and more and more money. And a lot of people don't go see dramatic films that are well acted. They don't care.
Yeah, and even in the streamers, it's this is the thing too because I've bridged kind of the two areas of when technology kind of took over. So on red carpet, if I had done a red carpet in say 2008, 9, 10, you would know every single star on the red carpet. If I go now, there's sometimes they give me a tip sheet, which is like a face sheet of like the actors who are supposed to appear on the red carpet. Sometimes I'm Googling these people. I'm like, who are they? Because, and it's not because I'm old or I'm not like, or I'm out of touch. It's that there are so many streamers and so many new shows. It's impossible to keep up. And so I'm like, oh, okay, they're on a STAR show that I've heard of, but I haven't been able to watch yet. So you have to then like go and Google to like then prep questions for them while you're on the job. God. So it's crazy even for us on the entertainment reporter side.
I was just thinking of scenes that I've loved in my life. Paul Newman, who I thought was a phenomenal actor. I mean, he could do romantic comedy, he could do drama, he could do it all. He's a very, very good actor. Obviously a very handsome man. That scene with him talking to his mother in the back of a pickup truck, she's in a rocking chair in the back of a pickup, smoking a huge cigar or cigarette or whatever, and she's visiting him at the camp that he's in because he committed a crime by cutting heads off of parking meters. But the acting, when he's talking to his mother up in that vehicle, and they're talking to one another, and you realize by the time she's ready to leave, he is never going to see his mother again. It's a very, very good scene. If you've never seen Cool Hand Luke, see it. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Great movie. Mm-hmm. And the scenes like that I'm looking for. It's like, I didn't realize when they started talking 5 minutes ago, but he ain't ever going to see his mother alive again. I mean, it's very touching. It really is.
Yeah, and I think training is different for actors too now.
Yeah, probably.
And it's just, I think a lot of people become social media famous before they become, then Hollywood's like, oh, come on over, we'll give you a role and things like that. Not everyone has trained. It's, not everyone's going to Stella Adler and studying with Uta Hagen and all of that. And it's just, and also the studio system back in the day with MGM, they would have training so that they were triple threats. Not only could they act, but they could also sing and dance. We don't have a lot of those actors anymore either.
That's very true. Yeah, that's very true. I don't know. Like I said, I love going to movies. I used to love going to the movie theater and sitting there and watching this magnificent acting and all the rest of it. I've never been an actor myself. I never even studied acting or anything like that. It's just, and maybe it's because of the Marlon Brandos and what was, Jesus, who starred in Wait Until Dark? The woman who starred in that. God, for some reason I can't. She's phenomenal. And I can't
Audrey
think of
Hepburn?
Audrey Hepburn. She was a phenomenal actor. Didn't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I loved her. Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yes.
Funny Face.
Yep, she was we don't have anybody like those people anymore. That's really unfortunate.
No, it is sad. It's kind of like an era gone by in Hollywood, honestly. And, and we're here's the thing though, with these strikes and the studios trying to figure out streaming, we're kind of at a reckoning point. And I do think we're going to see a lot of changes and transitions here. We're in the ugly part of it. And it's going to take a few years to get out of this because the content's already backed up. Yesterday, I just saw that they're probably going to delay whatever they have banked content-wise in terms of TV. They're going to hold off until the actors' strike is over because they're like, we can't release these without actors being able to promote it. And so I'm like, we're all going to be in like a content valley where we've been in a content peak for so long. But what I think is, I just think that this is going to change some of the business model and hopefully we'll see better things, because right now they've been throwing spaghetti at the wall. They've been throwing a ton of money at projects that sometimes didn't deserve those budgets. So I'm hoping we see better quality and more meaningful content in the next few years.
Do you think it's just the same with politics and the same with everything in America now? It's not about entertainment anymore. It's about, let's just jam it down their throat and make as much money as we possibly can. It's all about money now, isn't it? It's not about content.
It always is. I mean,
it didn't used to be that way. I mean, seriously, it didn't used to be that way. They made good movies, good TV shows.
Do you think maybe we're in a pattern right now where when Audrey Hepburn was like at the height of her powers, were people going, yeah, we got this Audrey Hepburn, but she's no so-and-so from 20 years ago. Man, that's when acting was acting.
Well, maybe.
Are we all going to look at Scarlett Johansson and not realize that Scarlett Johansson is the Audrey Hepburn of today, where we go, we don't have anybody like that. But then 25 years from now, we're going to be going, there's no one like a Scarlett Johansson on the planet anymore.
Is she good?
Oh, man. Do you see Jojo Rabbit?
No.
Oh, Tom.
She's really good.
Oh,
huh?
I just got goosebumps.
Good.
Yes, you got to see
But I
that
don't
movie.
think, listen, I don't think we have a Meryl Streep in the Gen X millennial. I am gonna call someone out though, because I think that they have the potential, because they already have 2 Emmys to their name.
Brittany
Zendaya.
Hagen.
I knew you were going to say Zendaya. And that's where I go, okay, so yes, of course.
Yes, of course.
Zendaya, this is the question I want to ask. Can Tom Holland act, or is he always playing an extension of himself?
Oh, there's a lot of people that play extensions
Oh,
themselves.
yeah.
No, I'm not saying, just add that question, though. Like, I get that that's fine to do that, but, like, can Tom Holland act is the question.
As of right now, he's Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Same as, like, Hugh Grant is Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you just get people who just know that playing themselves it works and it makes them a lot of money. But Zendaya is the one. I'm like, mark my words, within 10 years, she'll have an Oscar to her name.
Yeah, I could see that.
What is she in?
She's in Euphoria right now on HBO, and has won 2 Emmys for that. She came out of the Disney Channel system, and I think that's usually kids in Disney Channel don't really have a serious acting career, you know, after their time on a series there. She did Shake It Up, and she has been so focused, and she's super serious, and people love her. She's great to work with. I covered her nonstop when she did Dancing with the Stars when she was 16, and she and her family were an absolute delight.
Oh, see, that's nice to hear. So she just goes by Zendaya.
Zendaya. Her last name's Coleman, but she's just Zendaya. You don't even need the last name anymore.
All right. Well, I'll have to track her down.
You
Both
know
of the
her.
people you're talking
She's
about.
the one that you've seen her before and things.
Oh, yeah, I've seen her. Yeah, absolutely.
Also,
she's a fashionista too. She makes, like red carpets, like people are clamoring to dress her too. She's amazing.
I would also like to point out, not to poo-poo all over Kristyn, but that Zach and Cody have amazing acting careers from Disney.
Well,
okay, listen.
let's not forget Selena Gomez did come from Disney.
Yes.
So, like, they may not put out consistent stars, but when they hit. And, like, Murders in the Building, hello.
Which, by the way, next week, August 8th, I believe it is, we will have a new season for that. So that's kind of exciting. That'll be, like, good to look forward to.
Speaking of Selena Gomez, she is in a movie with Paul Rudd called The Art of Caring.
Yeah, is she good?
Oh, man. That's such a good one. Oh, yeah. Did you see that, Kristyn?
I did.
Yeah, it's very touching, and it's just, she's great. And
Paul's fantastic.
Yeah, and I hadn't never really known that much about her, and then I watched it, and I was like, who is this gal with the foul mouth and the smoking cigarettes? And then all of a sudden I saw it and just went, wow.
Are you sure it's not The Fundamentals?
The Fundamentals of Caring.
Okay.
That's what it's called. Yes, The Fundamentals of Caring. Yes, but that's such a good movie. Check it out.
So good. Yeah. And, I think Selena's another one that's just kind of like surprising because, she comes out of the Disney system, and it was a system, especially when Disney Channel was cranking out those shows. And then people know her as a pop singer, or people know her for her tabloid story with Justin Bieber and that love triangle with Hailey Bieber. And she is really, focused on the work and kind of like blocked out all of the noise. And it's really kind of incredible what she's done with her career.
Yeah, and then we've also had Miley Cyrus, Zac Efron. So they've done pretty well. I mean, I know a lot of them don't hit super well, but I feel like there are some we just kind of forget that their origins are Disney.
I don't, only because I covered that era of Disney Channel. I was interviewing them all of the time, and there were so many of them.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a handful. And so it's like there were probably like, let's say 125 of them that were like kind of at their peak in their teens. It's less than 10 that really hit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting to watch when the ones that do hit.
It does. It is, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you pill, another great report. No, I like the fact that we talked about, basically 3 generations of acting. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and listen, we've got the Alpha Gen coming right up behind Gen Z, so maybe we have some superstars in there.
You could only hope, no question. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You bet.
Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, stream the Tom Barnard Show on the app or the website and listen for at least 1 hour a day. Be entered to win a pair of tickets to Pink and Pat Benatar in concert. That's at Target Field on August 10th, just a couple of weeks from now. Listen to our show on the stream for an hour each day and win the tickets. Tickets are compliments of Killebrew old-fashioned root beer and cream soda. We got to take a break. Be right back. The lovely and talented, what's his name again? Chris Egert?
Christopher?
Riggedy diggity.
Chrissy?
Chrissy?
Riggedy diggity.
Riggedy diggity. Damn, boy. All right, we shall be right back on the mnfatloss.com program. I've truly experienced great success. I said I experienced great success. Did you hear that?
Big, great success.
There you go. I did the first 60 days, lost 27 pounds. I was on the maintenance program for 8 weeks, and now I kept the weight off, but I wanted to lose some more, so I'm back on the fat loss program. You can be too, by the way. The last week of summer savings of $200 is this week. I'm telling you, do yourself a favor and connect with the team at mnfatloss.com. Doesn't matter that it is summertime. Like me, you'll see you get to eat plenty of real foods you love, and you won't feel hungry or deprived. They really have figured out the secret to fat loss. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, it's about a pound of fat every day, by the way, no exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, $200 summer savings ends this week. Go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust, who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you. Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Welcome back, Chris Egert, new friend of Tom Barnard.
I was just wondering, I like the new besties thing. I feel like that's a word that Tom would definitely use, would be besties, right?
He's been talking about debating if you even are a new bestie.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Like, have you made the bestie list? We don't know.
No way.
Time
No
will
way
tell.
No way I made that list.
You made what list?
The
I was
list
out there.
of your besties.
You know, every time I walk down the hallway now to go to the bathroom, I run into a listener. That's kind of nice. I mean, it's nice in a way, but I'm always late coming back because of it. But hey, at least I promote the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you feel
absolutely.
me?
Yeah, Rudy just goes to the bathroom and doesn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Well, unless the guy's pooping.
And then he'll leave a little flyer underneath.
Sit stall next to him like, hey, you guys watching the show? You guys listen to the show down the
Here,
hallway?
hand me your phone. I'll download the app for you.
That's not exactly how it goes, but I don't want to. You listen to our show, don't you? Damn it.
Also, here's a rotisserie chicken while we're here.
I like it.
Our share seat?
In the bathroom. Now we're
Bestie.
talking. Ladies and gentlemen, news brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Had dinner last night at Bar La Grassa with Josh. The women came along.
What'd you get?
We got started off with the soft eggs and lobster, then with the red wine spaghetti and a meatball, and then closed out with the sea salt caramel crespel.
This is like dirty talk to me. That sounds awesome.
It is fun. It's great.
Oh, yum.
But we talked a lot. Basically, all we did was talk all night about, what a disaster you guys are. That's all we did. That's what we talked about.
How we can step up.
That's what's happening, Chrissy.
Nothing. How are you?
Magnificent, actually. Well, I brought up the fact that one of my people I adored the most in my life, my Aunt Mary Ann, just went and saw her 3 weeks ago. She died yesterday, so I'm very sad but very grateful at the same time today. I'm having one of those very emotional days where you're like, thank you for whoever put the idea in my head to go see her, because I hadn't seen her in a while. And I just happened to go see her 3 weeks ago, and her lovely family. I've known those people forever. But great sadness. But with that great sadness is an appreciation that she ever existed anyway.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry to hear that.
Well, it's great. No, it's great. She was wonderful. You guys would have loved her. Had a great sense of humor, the whole deal.
Listen, if she's your family, she's our family.
See, take that home with you. What do you think of that action?
What do you think about that, Brittany?
I'm just working really hard to not laugh at your. It's just funny when Chris gets corny because I don't see it coming.
Corny.
He's so cynical, and so when he says things like that, I don't
I'm not
know.
Cynical.
Yes, he is.
Really? I don't see you as cynical.
I'm not cynical. That's very.
He's stabbing you right in the back.
I know, right, Brittany? I don't know where we got off on the wrong foot.
I adore you, but you're very, very dark humor, cynical, and I love you for it.
I don't know what she's talking about, man. I just think you're a wonderful lad.
I think you're wonderful too. I have a question. What does heat index actually mean when they say that?
It's kind of the summer equivalent of what a wind chill means during the wintertime.
Oh, yeah.
So it's what the outside air temperature is, what the humidity is, and then how it impacts your body. So that's how they come up with a heat index.
Hey, thanks a lot, Christopher Egert.
You're welcome.
Was it Christopher now? We're going with Christopher?
When he's coming in with hot info like that, absolutely.
But is your name Christopher?
It is.
Some people it is, some people it's not.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it is.
And then there's the KRIS. Would Chris Christopherson invent that?
Yeah, I don't know. KRIS is that's a whole different camp of Chris's as far as I'm concerned.
Samesies.
That's a whole different outfit.
Samesies. And also,
now they didn't choose how to spell their names,
but
so I have to give them that.
Yeah. Does that fall into usually when it's a female as KRIS, or is that just a different way of spelling
That's a whole nother dynamic.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, man. Life is grand. That's all I'm saying.
Are you, Tom? Do you ever go and watch the TPC Twin Cities is going on? It started today.
Never.
Do you ever? I was wondering if you ever go out and watch that.
No, but I love that golf course. It's a lot of fun to play that golf course, and it's a great event too. I have been out there, to tell you the truth, because there used to be a huge KQRS tent out there.
Yeah.
So once in a while they'd ask me to go out and just pop in and say hello to everybody. But yeah, it's great. It's a great venue. I've loved playing that golf course. It's a really fun golf course to play, and you see some talent. So yeah, it's a great event, and I would highly recommend you go to it.
They obviously started today. I've got buddies who like to go, and I don't know that I like golf enough to commit to going out there and standing around and watching it. But I also think it'd be kind of cool to see some of it in person and see some of these big time players and whatnot actually lay eyes on them right there instead of seeing it on TV.
Well, if you want to go out, I'll go out there with you. Shoulder to shoulder, man. We'll both do something we never do. We'll show up at an event.
Well, isn't that the truth?
It's kind of cold, though. You look at it that way.
Ooh, it's a little warm out. I don't think
It's toasty.
I need optimal temperature range for me to sit outside and watch golf, which I'd put that somewhere around 68.
So they got to shoot 68, and it's got to be 68. There you go. Well,
yes.
It'll work out just fine. But yeah, I'm being very serious about this. If you've never been, go see the event because it is terrific. It's a lot of fun to watch.
I know when it was a Ryder Cup that was here a couple of years ago, right? That was I had some friends who actually volunteered to work that so they could be right there. They to this day consider that like a once in a lifetime experience to be able to be there for that. So
the only problem I had with ever going to the last event I went to was it was a PGA event. I didn't remember what the hell it was, but it was Tiger Woods was playing in the whole deal. And by accident, I just walked up to this crowd, and I was standing next to Tiger Woods. I didn't talk to him or anything. I never realized he's as tall as he is.
Is he tall?
He's like 6'2". Maybe we could look that up. Would you look that up and see how tall Tiger Woods is? I think he's like,
on it.
But he was, he's a lot bigger than I thought he'd be.
6'1".
6'1", okay, so there you go. Yeah, that makes total sense. But yeah, those events are just, you're going to see things like you're sitting in the stands behind a par 4 and all of a sudden you got Rory McIlroy knocking it from the tee onto the green on a par 4. And you're like, what the hell? Watching a ball travel that far in person is amazing. I mean, it really is amazing.
I think like any kind of sport, seeing it in person gives you a whole different appreciation for it versus watching it on TV. And to your point, like the scale of people, like the Tiger Woods is 6'1". Like I didn't realize that. I always thought he was a little bit shorter than that.
I did too. I always thought he was like 5'9", something like that. That's what he kind of looked like. But no, he's a big fella. There's no question about that. It's, I don't know. Get out there if you get a chance. Like you said, it's a little toasty. There's no doubt about that. It's a little warm, but see, that stuff. Heat doesn't bother me. Cold bothers me a lot more than heat.
Yeah, I can see. I can definitely see that, and I'm sure they have some refreshing beverage counters for one to stay hydrated.
Isn't it amazing when you do show up and you see the things like golf tournaments and you go, I am never, ever even going to come close to being 10% that good. You watch these people and the amazing things that, like, have you ever been on the sidelines of either a college or a professional football game?
Yeah.
You cannot believe how big and fast those guys really are until you're down on the field with them.
It's wild.
Holy
for sure.
God.
And to hear the hits.
Yeah.
And see the power that they have.
Chris, your son is a big boy, and he is playing for St. Thomas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. He's a lineman. What's his 40 time?
I don't know what his 40 time is. I know. I don't know that. Okay. I know that when they were evaluating him, they go by all kinds of different metrics. The big guys, they also are evaluating like their wingspan, their jump, like all kinds of these different things that, it used to be kind of like the linemen were like, get the great big fat guys and pop them on the line. They're not really. They're not. The modern game isn't really looking for that much anymore. They're looking for people with a big long arms so they can, pass block, and it's interesting.
Because you got guys that are 320 and they run a 4.3 40-yard dash,
which is crazy.
It's insane. Yeah, because you got guys right now that are, you got wideouts that are doing a 4-second 40-yard dash, and these dudes are flying. Like you're right. When you look at a lineman back in the day was like 6'1.5" and maybe 195. That was a big lineman. Now these dudes are like 6'7" and 300, and they move.
Yeah.
They do indeed. They're very, very fast. Yeah, I if you could ever experience it, if you get a chance to stand on the sidelines of any major sport like that, I don't care what the hell it is, whether it's soccer or football or what, you can't believe how good those people are unless you're right next to them.
Mm-hmm.
Looks kind of like a video game when you're in the stands,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. You don't get it, and it definitely there's definitely something to be said for that. Even at a lot of those games, if you're not even down on the field, just being there in person, it does give you a whole different perspective.
Yeah, it's great stuff. No doubt. So we'll say one more time: if you've never been to that TPC tournament out there, you should go because it is amazing.
And last year it was Tony Finau who won.
Yeah.
And he was the one who was traveling around with his family because his wife's dad died, and she was having a really hard time with it. So he's like, okay, just come with us, because come with me on all the tours. And everyone was criticizing him, going, the reason you haven't won any of these big ones is because you have your family distracting you. And he did this interview that was like, the only reason I'm doing this is because of my family. Like, if having them gives me perspective, like, that's what I need. And then it was like after that interview, he won that one, and it was just so cool.
Yeah.
And then he flew into this airport, and he had this like huge extended family that was like partying for him when he landed. And it was just, I had never, because we watched the whole docuseries, and he was the only one who wasn't like obsessive about every hit, about every whatever. He had like his family, and I was just in love with him. So I hope he does well again this year.
It'll be terrific. There's no question about that. So what else you got, Chrissy?
Did you guys hear about the UFO thing yesterday?
Yeah.
I watched some of that. They are literally saying now, you can lie to yourself all you want, but they're definitely UFOs. They definitely exist.
I went down the rabbit hole on this whole bit a couple years ago, but I made the mistake recently of I put the website Reddit on my phone, and the way the Reddit app works is if you look at one thing once, you get notifications about it.
Yeah.
So I must have looked at a UFO article, must have been the first thing that I saw. And I swear to God, for 3 weeks, I've been getting these like updates on this UFO stuff. So I had been reading about this for several weeks going into these hearings yesterday. So I kind of knew this was coming. Man, you can I suggest if you're interested in it all, go down the rabbit hole on that a little bit, because it's quite interesting. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, no. One word of warning about that. I didn't watch it, but I saw a lot of the promos for it and some, outtakes of it and all the rest of it. If you get nervous about that, because there is a guy that stands there and said, look, you have to understand one thing. The reason we need to study this, because they do exist and they can lie all they want, but they definitely exist. But if they decided to attack us, we couldn't even fight back. They're that far ahead of us that if they wanted to destroy the earth, there's nothing we could do about it. That's a little terrifying, don't you think?
Well, I think that's part of to me, that's the reason, if it is true, why it's been held back forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like people would kind of lose their minds over that, that sort of realization. So I have, it makes perfect sense that this stuff is sensitive. I know there's been a push. I think it's the Appropriations Committee, because the government is spending, my understanding is, billions and billions of dollars on some programs that these guys don't even know what it is. So like this is tax funded stuff, and there's no access to any of it whatsoever.
Like oversight,
so there's been a movement over the last couple months to open that stuff up, just so people know what, because the argument is, if it's not aliens, what the hell are you spending the money on?
Right.
Because this is a lot of money. I mean, like, tons of money. So I don't know. And then, and I'm not trying to sound like a whack job or anything, but I think there's been enough that's come out in the last, particularly that hearing yesterday, where you're kind of like, you got to take a look at it. I don't think you can dismiss it. That's for sure.
It is rather interesting. I mean, once again, obviously, I was told many, many, many years ago when I was a little boy, I asked about that very thing about, flying saucers and whatever they called it back then. And he said to me, it was a father of a friend of mine, he said, Tom, do people really think we're the only beings in the universe? That's a ridiculous idea. And think about it. To think that we're the only ones who exist in this universe is ludicrous, right?
Well, I mean, even some of the smartest, like Stephen Hawking, and some of these people who are like the brainiest people that have ever, walked the earth that we're aware of, like even they concede that how could we be it? How could we be the only thing?
Way.
But I don't know.
No way. Now I want to listen to Keep Talking. Remember that Stephen Hawking song? What a great song. For millions of years. You don't remember that song? Oh,
No.
God,
I do remember this. Yeah, let me find it. Yeah.
Great song. It's phenomenal. And Stephen Hawking actually talks in the song. Who the hell does it again, Rudy? I forgot who did the song.
I can't remember, but let me find it.
It's a British group, I think, but I'm not sure about that either. But yeah, if you guys never heard it, it's a phenomenal song. If you can track it down, because it's about, for millions of years, we've looked. Well, I don't want to.
I feel like I know what you guys are talking about, and I have a recollection of they even played it on the radio for a while.
Oh, we played it at KQ 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It was something like that. It goes back quite a bit, but I can't remember the artist. Somebody famous though. What were you saying, Chris?
Oh, I'm disappointed in myself that I don't know that. I consider myself.
It's a pretty old song.
I have a vast library of music spinning around in this melon of mine, and I'm sad that I don't know that.
But it's still so cool to hear Stephen Hawking talking in a song,
right?
Because he had that artificial voice, but he controlled it, but it was an artificial voice.
Yeah.
Isn't it sad? A brilliant person like that, just confined to a wheelchair. He finally died, obviously, but.
Yeah, it's. What was it a Beautiful Mind? Was that about him?
No, I think it was Theory of Everything.
Theory of Everything was,
that's right. Theory of Everything.
But Beautiful Mind was one of the greatest movies ever made. Phenomenal movie, no question. Might have reminded me of my dad a little bit, but that's got nothing to do with it.
It always comes back to the parents.
Let's see, a brilliant guy who's nuts. Who's that just like? You having any luck at all in there, Rudy?
I think because I'm finding like a lot of people have taken, the robotic Stephen Hawking voice and then made him sing stupid songs like "My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard." Damn right. I'm like, well, that's not the song we're thinking of, but I know what you were talking about, but for some reason it seems like it's buried with everybody trying to get cute on the internet.
Yeah, we'd have to find out who did it. And it was a very famous group that did the song.
Well, Monty Python has a song with him, it looks like. I don't know if this is right, but let me see.
Pink Floyd, Keep Talking.
Pink Floyd, Keep Talking. There you go.
I don't know why I didn't look at the email. I've been
Pink
doing it, waiting for the commercials to look at it, and all of a sudden I look and I'm like, oh, my email's blowing up.
It was Pink Floyd. You're absolutely Keep Talking with Keep. And at the very end of the song, he goes, Keep Talking.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Joe. Whoa. Thank you, Howard, Jeff, and John. Thanks, guys.
Thank you to everybody who called.
We're driving crazy enough to use the app.
Did they love the song?
Right.
They were just so excited about telling me it. They didn't convey any other message.
They're sitting there screaming at their app. Why don't you know what this is?
I know. Why won't Brittany look at her email?
That's right, though. It was Pink Floyd. How the hell did I not remember it was Pink Floyd? What a great group.
Right.
Hey, you guys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What a great song. They get Stephen Hawking to do the intro on their song. Too bad those two kids couldn't get along in Pink Floyd.
Yeah, right.
They hate one another.
Isn't that crazy?
But at the very end, he comes back on and he goes, remember, keep talking. And you're like, holy Christ. That's a little dramatic.
You know what, though? That song, it's not very useful for most things in your life. Like, you wouldn't play that in the car bumping.
I did.
Would you, like...
Oh, I love that song.
Like, it wouldn't be your go-to, like, song you dance to. You wouldn't play it with somebody else. Like, that song is very specific to, like, being high and alone.
Pink Floyd is so good in that song, though. The construction of the song, the way they play it. They play this deal where, and I remember once Tony walked into the room because I was kind of singing along with it, and there's a part where the guitar goes, wah, 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 just like that. And I'm like, holy Christ. It's a brilliant song. Very, very well done. No question. It's kind of like watching Chris Egert on television. Just brilliant.
Brilliant.
We
never stops talking.
Stop talking. We got to do a song. Chris Egert, stop talking.
For years, his voice has been the voice of KSTP Channel 5. Does he take down shoplifters at a Target during the riots? Yes, he does. Chris Egert, top talking.
Not cynical, we learned today at all.
What a world. What a world. We only got about 3 minutes left, man. You got one. Oh, damn it. I was going to ask you about a story, too. I was thinking about bringing something up to you. But I can't remember what the hell it is now. Because it's my own fault. I got involved in another thing. There's a big story right now today. What the hell's going on? Is there any other big story we missed?
Wait, Chris, everyone made fun of me because of the GMA being in town. How did that go? Did you get to meet anybody?
Yeah, they had a correspondent here. He came on the show yesterday. He's a nice guy. Speaking of the scale of people, it's always funny to me that I feel like most of the national correspondents are all really small.
They are? Oh, God, yeah, they are.
That's funny because, like, we're Minnesotans, so we, like, eat a lot of meat.
Right, because everybody here is like a giant lumberjack.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's true.
They were really nice, and their crew was nice and everything. So
that's funny.
Cool.
Last winter, I got in an elevator in Florida, and a guy gets on. He's blonde, and he's about 6'7". And I looked at him and I went, "You're from Minnesota, aren't you?" He goes, "Yeah, how'd you know?"
I met, when I was in Kuwait, Geraldo Rivera did a segment, and I met him. And that man was like the size of a bagel. His waist was tiny, and he was short, and it was all of us military people. And I was like, that person was, Geraldo was tiny. Little jeans.
Geraldo.
Little jeans.
Little jeans, that's what it is.
You have your animals on?
Yeah. Yep.
Aw, that's sweet. Nothing wrong with that. You get very nice and sweet. All right, pal. It's always
before I go, it's
nope, we cut you
Miracle
off.
Treat. It's Miracle Treat Day today at Dairy Queen. So if you buy a Blizzard, money goes to Gillette Children's Specialty Healthcare, which is a great program. So
what's a Blizzard? Who asked that last week? Oh, it was Trump. He didn't know what a blizzard was.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
That is so funny.
That I mean, we all know those guys are out of touch, but that was like so bad. I was like, oh.
I've never had a blizzard though. I mean, I've heard of it, but I wouldn't know what a blizzard
you
is.
For sure have had a blizzard.
I've never had a blizzard.
Oh my God.
Never.
What? I
like chocolate cones.
One today. It goes to a good cause.
Oh, it's a good. Blizzard's a good cause today.
Yeah, it goes to Gillette Children's.
Oh, so that's very sweet.
Some of the proceeds go. So it really is. They raise like $175 million over the 39 years they've been doing that, which is huge. So
yum.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's a very nice story.
That's not something someone cynical would report.
You were gonna say that.
It's very true.
Chris, be honest. I'm putting an honesty loop on you. I can't be the first person to have called you cynical.
Yeah, I get what was the word?
A-hole?
I can't remember. Yeah, I know. But sometimes it's not because I'm being flippant. It's just
no. I didn't say flippant.
Nah, I know.
No.
I know. I'm gonna work on that.
No, please don't. Oh my God. Please don't.
God,
You're
why
perfect.
me?
You're so. I mean, I'll tell you some areas of opportunity later. I'll make a list.
But I don't think we have time to go through it. That's for sure.
All right, Pally. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye, Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Egert. News brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Say it every day, but I'll say it again. I love working with Chris Egert.
My family loves that guy.
He's a good guy.
My husband, my mom, our next door neighbor Priscilla, everybody in my group just loves Chris Egert. We're all just like, he is so funny.
Great guy. No doubt about it. We'll take a break. Be right back in a couple minutes. Continue with the show. Got Gelfand coming up at the top of the hour. Judd's going to be with us also top of the hour. Special guest at 9:50.
Ooh.
Andrew Barnard. Oh, pardon me.
I've met him.
You've met him. I can't even imagine him as a special guest.
He's going to go, we're going to say, hey, Andrew, and you go, hi, and then turn his mic off.
What do you want?
Hi.
Why don't you leave me alone? What do you want?
I'm not on till 10:30, so.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we got to take a break. Be right back. It's time to beat the heat. It's Tom Barnard from my friends at Miller Marine Power Lodge, giving you the keys to a cool lake breeze with clearance pricing on 2023 luxury pontoons, fishing boats, and more. Our dog days of summer won't last, and neither will their inventory. So do both of us a favor and go from floor to shore today with iconic Bennington pontoon and tri-toon packages at doorbuster pricing at Miller Marine in St. Cloud and all Power Lodge locations. Get your first cruise in by sunset, but don't wait on this limited time special. Power Lodge offers competitive financing with no money down. By the way, if you need delivery to your dock, their team of experts has you covered. Discover what thousands of our Minnesota neighbors have and explore our lakes and rivers in your own boat at elite savings. And if I say it's elite, it is elite. Launch into adventure today at Miller Marine and Power Lodge. Just head to millermarine.com and powerlodge.com. Snag some throttle therapy for yourself. Financing is available on approved credit. Freight and prep are not included in packages.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
On the MNFatLoss.com program, I've truly experienced great success. I did the first 60 days and lost 27 pounds. I was on the maintenance program for 8 weeks, and now I kept the weight off but wanted to lose some more, so I'm back on the fat loss program, and you can be too. The last week of summer savings of $200 is this week. I'm telling you, do yourself a favor and connect with the team at MNFatLoss.com. Doesn't matter that it's summertime. Like me, you'll see you get to eat plenty of the real foods you love, and you won't feel hungry or deprived. They really have figured out the secret to fat loss. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks. That's about a pound of fat every day, by the way. No exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, $200 summer savings ends this week. Go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you. And don't forget, well, it automatically kind of connects to your Bluetooth anyway, so it comes up on your car. What used to be called a radio, now it's just a device to develop podcasts.
True dat. Preach.
What do you think, man?
I agree.
Horn tootin'.
I did forget my phone one day coming in here, and I did not enjoy that.
What's the point now?
Like, I like having access to all my digital stuff on my phone. So
to all digital things?
Yeah. So
like
I love.
What?
Well, I listen to our show if I'm not on it. But I like listening
that's
to.
Nice, yep.
I like. Well, you're welcome. Even on days I have off. Like listening in.
What days you have off? What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's a great question. But yeah, I like having the digital setup. It's pretty nice.
Indeed it is. There's no question about that. I have got to ask you a question. The 10 most annoying vacation photos. I don't know anything about vacation photos at all.
I feel like I'm not. It's so rare because with Facebook and Instagram, you just see people's vacation photos there. You don't do the whole come to my house and look at all my pictures.
Yeah, that's well, like it used to. Those little slide projectors. Remember those when you were a little kid?
But did you ever go to anyone's house that actually did that?
I had one aunt who did it to us one time, and that was it. Never again.
I've never actually had that happen to me.
Yeah, she took a trip to Rome and then made us all sit in her living room with the projector and then like showed us all the photos. And finally, at like 3/4 of the way through it, my stepdad just said, "Okay, enough. We're done. This is dumb. We didn't go. Like, why do we want to sit and look at pictures of you? But now that's all we do is sit and look at pictures of other people."
Yeah, it's true.
I have a question. The opening line here. If you want your friends to be excited about your vacation, I don't give a rat's ass if my friends are excited about my vacation.
Yeah.
Who cares?
No.
I mean, you go have a good time, I'll go have a good time. Whatever. I'm happy for you.
And I like seeing people's photos. Like, just quickly, I don't need to see 400, but like, even Rudy was in Disney. It was fun to see his Disney photos. And like when a lot of times they'll post pictures. Catherine or Alex will post pictures.
They do?
Yeah, like you guys golfing. I mean, I want to see like a quick photo. I don't need to see 45, but I like a quick pic of what everyone's doing.
Stop bringing up golf and my wife. I told you that before.
Alex was there too.
Alex was there too. Catherine is, I'm telling you, if she gave a rat's ass, she'd be really good. She just doesn't care.
I could see that.
Get my ass kicked all the time, but don't worry about my feelings, honey. Yes, dear. But it's not fair. She's like 5'11" and weighs about 4 pounds.
Yeah.
She's long and lean. That's not fair. There's nothing to turn. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you got all this crap to turn around. Mm-hmm. She's got this little pop bottle. Oh, here's me hitting the ball. Oh, boy, look at that. All that movement. It's not fair.
Yeah, no, I think there's some advantages to being tall and beautiful and skinny. We get it, Catherine.
Oh, you think there's some benefits to that, too?
Yeah, I don't think golfing's the only thing she gets benefits from.
Yeah, you might be right about that. All right, if you want your friends to be excited about your vacation, maybe don't post any photos from it. 53% of people say their friends' vacation shots sometimes just make them jealous. And once again, why would you be jealous? Your friend gets to go on a vacation. Good for them. Why don't you get off your ass and save some money, and then you can go? Why would you be jealous of that?
I agree.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd someday like to go to the Great Wall of China. It's just not going to happen. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Really?
It'd be interesting to go.
Is that on your list?
Not really on my list because I'm probably never going to stop working. I could not just sit around the house on the back deck and go, I remember that back in '06 when, I don't want to do that.
Could you not, or could Catherine have you not?
Well, that's a good question. I wanted to be Sid Hartman. 101 years old. Actually, had just turned 100. he and my brother died like 48 hours apart.
Really?
Chad Hartman's father and my brother. What the hell's that all about?
I don't know.
It's not fair.
Not fair.
But no, Sidney worked till he was 100 years old. He literally worked all the time till he was 100 years old. That's pretty damn impressive.
And loved it.
Yeah.
He loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever told you guys, I had an old GM that he said, I will retire on my 80th birthday. And his birthday, when he turned 80, was a Friday, and they threw a big party for him. And then Monday morning at 5:30, guess who was right back in his office?
Yeah.
and they were like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I can't do it.
Can't do it,
He's
man.
like, if I will die if I sit at home. I can't. And to this day, still working. Like, he's now like 91, 92, shows up every day.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be me, I would guess. I'm never going to shut up. What do you think of that?
Thank God. Brittany and I need you. Don't you go
Oh,
anywhere.
yeah, nice try.
We do.
Don't you go anywhere.
That's
Okay,
so
wait a minute.
funny.
Wait. What's the date today? It's
July 27th.
July 27th. We got
2023.
27, 23.
Yeah.
2 people nice to me.
Yeah.
How did you jot that down?
Yeah.
So dramatic.
Yeah, no.
Don't go any. My daughter's got 3 years of school left. Please do not go
Yeah.
anywhere for at least the next 3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
works for
Tom.
me.
I need you.
We need you to keep going hard. So.
Some Gelfand just got here, I think.
Yep.
No, I like I said, as long as we get the one thing that I have left to do, because I've been going out, a lot of, like I had a dinner Monday night, I had a dinner last night, I got another one tonight, where tonight's not about business though, it's just a different deal, but going out, but I got to figure out, maybe Gelfand, you're a genius, aren't you?
According to my mother, I was.
There you, but not in a good way.
Well, you know how it is with Jewish mothers.
That's so wonderful. God, we were just talking last night about I had lost my aunt yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The youngest member of my father. My generation is now the oldest generation in my family.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but we were talking about that whole thing. And we're out to dinner with Josh Arnold, who sponsors the show. I'll go with him. And we talked about the fact that her name was Lawin, Lawin, which I guess is a French way to spell it.
Very, very fancy.
Turned down a couple of places. Her husband was turned down a couple of places because they thought he was a Jew. They wouldn't let him eat there because his name was Lawin. They thought he was a Jew, and they said, "Sorry, no Jews."
Yeah.
Now this is back in the 1930s or something. But
Oh, right. That could only happen today in half the restaurants.
only about half of them now. That would be it. But yeah, I do not remember it myself, but I remember the placement of them. Water fountains. There'd be 2 of them, and I asked my mother, why are there 2 water fountains? And she told me, well, it used to say, it doesn't anymore, but it used to say white and colored.
Sure.
Literally on the water fountains. You can't even drink it. Listen, Mike, don't ever drink out of that colored water fountain. What?
I remember taking we had a family trip to Tulsa, Oklahoma to visit my grandparents. And I was probably 7 years old, I'd say.
Okay.
And so we pulled into a Howard Johnson's. I think it was a Howard Johnson's.
Sure.
And this, of course, this is in the late 50s.
Mm-hmm.
A period when you would think maybe we were a little more sophisticated about these things. And my dad got up and to go to the men's room. And next thing I know, I looked up and my dad had turned purple with rage. And he said, "We're leaving here right now. Let's get the hell out of here." And so we left quickly, and I didn't quite know what was going on. But later, what I found out was my dad had seen a sign that said colored and white for the men's room.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's not that long ago. In our memory, it's not that long ago.
Well, do you really want to pee in a urinal that a white guy's peed in, Mike? I mean, come on.
I don't want to pee in a urinal that anyone has peed in.
I know you
because
don't.
most of it's on the floor, that's why.
Including yourself.
Well,
you don't even want to pee in your own.
Well, of course not. and of course, you go into a men's room. This is a slightly different take on this, but you go into a men's room, and what happens is there's the splash sort of quantity that and once. Because what happens is you go in there and someone like me says, I'm taking a step back here. I don't want any splashback.
Yes.
Well, of course, eventually the pooling begins.
Yes.
And then there's this syndrome where everybody's taking another step back to avoid the pooling. The best thing you can do is just, I don't know, maybe find some other way to deal with it. I just don't know.
And what Lenny said, man, Just go ahead and pee in the sink.
It might as well, yeah. As he said, everyone has peed in the sink at one time or another.
Exactly.
I still haven't, but
Lenny Bruce.
But I'm not ruling it out.
Yeah, there's still time.
There's plenty of time.
I've peed in sinks before.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with
I've peed in sinks before.
you. Absolutely. Why not? Let's go, Gelfand.
do this.
Go pee in the sink right now and then
All
come
right,
back.
I'll be back in a couple minutes.
No, it is true, and I don't know what's happening, but the rate of urine on the floor in front of urinals is the highest they've ever seen. It's they splash everywhere now.
Yeah. No, it's out of control.
Do they have shorter penises? What's the problem?
Well, according to some people, I mean, if you ask someone like RFK Jr.,
what's he on about?
Well, he says that drinking water is causing our municipal water supplies are full of chemicals, and that's the reason why so many boys are becoming gay and trans.
So the water. Why does he care?
Why does anyone care about the guy? But some
I'm
people
talking
do.
about why does anybody care about what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is so stupid. There's many ways of looking at it, but any way you look at it, it's just stupid.
Yeah, I just would, on both sides of it, and I'm not defending him in any way, shape, or form, but I'd also like to live in a world where everything wasn't a scam. That would be kind of nice.
Well, it's so weird when you said that water is making people gay. Rudy just threw out his giant container
See,
of water.
just threw it out.
He's really nervous about it.
He did a spit take. It's the ultimate spit take. But and that's the thing. I've been looking at the news maybe a little more intensely lately.
Yeah.
Probably because I can't go anywhere. I mean, you go outside and you choke to death. Now the air is pretty good today; it's fine.
Yeah.
But it has been bad. It's very hot.
Yep.
And I'm spending time and I'm watching all the cable news. I'm looking at the newspapers. What am I seeing? I'm seeing that the earth is on fire. I'm seeing that the war in Russia and Ukraine goes on. It's just insane. I opened up my local paper today, and I see the most cautious man in the world when it comes to COVID got COVID. Did you see that?
No, who's that?
Michael Osterholm got COVID.
Oh, did he?
If he can get COVID, no one is safe. And I'm reading all these stories, and the feel-good story of the week was the serial killer in New York.
Feel-good story about a serial killer.
Well, yeah, because they found they found the guy.
Well, that's good.
So that's
Glad
the
to hear.
happy story. And now turning to
Oh, you're talking about Gilgo?
Yeah.
You mean my cousin?
Yeah, Gilgo.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks I look just like him.
Don't get us started on Gilgo Beach.
Which I do not look anything like him, but
If I were you, I would not take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I would have to agree that I would not.
You don't look like him.
No, of
Not
course
at all.
not. There's no resemblance. But
I look a lot like Judd Zulgad. That's who I look like.
it's talking about serial killers.
Gelfand, hold on a second here. What are you doing watching all the cable news?
Yes.
My old man, God rest his soul, did exactly that. That's going to do you no good. If you're stuck inside, stop watching all the cable news. I bet Barnard does not watch all the cable news.
I can't. I used to.
Judd, you're going to have to go back in time about 40 years and give Gelfand this advice.
It's a little late,
It's a little late. You're coming in at the final hour here.
It's gotten worse, though. It's gotten way worse than the last 15, 20 years. Like, the cable news used to sort of be the news.
Yeah.
Now it's spin, and they're looking for the worst things possible. And yeah, it has been. I mean, it is a cluster bleep on every side of things. I don't care if it's CNN, Fox, whatever. It's a cluster bleep.
Well, yeah. I mean, CNN tried to take the middle of the road. In 1 month, they lost 70% of their viewers.
They did.
Now they're right back to where they were.
You're right.
And you can't blame them.
They fired the guy, too.
Well, they did fire the guy,
They
yeah.
fired. I thought it was a great idea. I really
Licked
did.
to the loser. They fired him, yeah.
I just, I don't know. People don't want to. People want to be pissed off. Well, look.
That's
what's,
right.
What's the name of that women's show that? What's her face is the host of the? Oh God, what the hell's her name? The View. Yeah.
I can put. You and I are telepathic. How did I get that from that?
Yeah,
You said,
well,
what is
that's
that
true.
with the women on the show? The View.
How can anyone? I don't watch CNN. I don't watch Fox. I watch it, and I saw a promo for that, or not a promo. Was it? It was a. They took a bit of the audio from it.
Yeah.
Why would I want to listen to a show where everyone talks like this? It's like, calm down, for Christ's sake.
There's the View, and there's the 5, and there's the 6, and there. I can't. I have no way of differentiating it.
Mike, it's terrible.
Yeah, and people, you're right. I mean, how does anyone watch those shows and then believe that they're more educated?
They do think that, Mike.
What do they
think that. Now, I do have a question for you, because I do need help.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I've said that many times.
I mean, mentally, it's just a given. That's very understandable.
I can give you a few referrals.
I don't like any of these people that are running for president. I mean, some of them seem better than others, but somebody I just go, hey, that's my person right there. Yeah. I don't have anybody.
I know. There was a time when you might say, this guy's okay. I'm going to vote for him.
Yeah.
But it's getting a lot more difficult.
Well, everybody's a scam artist. Everybody's going to be convicted of felonies, and everybody's going to be impeached. And it's like, Jesus.
Well, for sure, everyone's going to be impeached. We'll say
that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know about the rest, but for sure. I mean, the other stuff is up in the air, but everybody's going to be. Every president now probably.
Yeah. Yep.
That for the next, well, I guess forever, will be impeached.
You're right.
They won't be convicted.
No.
But they'll be impeached.
I
mean, what a waste of time.
I have to agree with you, but they started it all those years ago, and it just got worse and worse, and now it's horrible. It just, I don't know. There are a couple of guys that I don't know a lot about them. There are some people that are running, I guess, that I don't know anything about them. Maybe I would like them, but
probably not.
Probably not.
And then you're just throwing away your vote anyway.
And you're throwing your vote away anyway. Yeah. So it's absolutely true. But yeah, I tried to watch the news yesterday, and I'm still looking for other news channels to watch, but it's all the same crap. I mean, there's I can't even remember the name of these places. I mean, obviously you got your MSNBCs and all that stuff, and that's just garbage.
News Nation now, right? They're supposedly the ones that are supposed to be right down the middle, and they're not biased one way or the other. Is that News Nation?
Yeah,
do I have that right?
I believe that's true, but I don't think it is true that they do that.
Well,
gotcha.
Plus, they have they use the green screen more than they use reporters.
Yeah,
so it's a little sketchy. Yesterday, I watched the evening news as I was on my exercise bike, and I found myself. I never thought this would happen. I found myself feeling sorry for Mitch McConnell, and I feel like I've reached.
Mike,
I hit bottom now.
Did you see that?
What?
That whole thing was bizarre.
It was very sad.
It was sad. I mean, and the guy looks like he's aged, about 3 decades in the last, year.
He just, if you guys don't know this, he just stopped talking and stared at the camera.
Yeah.
Froze.
Oh,
it completely froze.
Froze up. What did they figure out? Was it a lesion or what the hell happened?
Well, I think the consensus was that it was a stroke.
You think it really was a stroke?
Well, it's had all the signs.
Yeah, it did. But he literally just stopped talking.
And the guy, then we found out later he took a terrible fall. Very recently.
Right.
Trying to get off an airplane.
Look who we got running our government.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
That's such a great point.
Jesus.
I don't want to be afraid that the people in charge are going to die of natural causes at any moment.
Yeah.
I know. No, you're right. It's quite scary, and I'm kind of. Although I got bitched at the other day for not having a political opinion.
What?
It was hilarious because I was talking to a friend of mine, and another guy walked up. He's probably about 30 years old, something like that, and he said, "Well, what do you think of this? What do you think of that?" And I said, "Well, I should explain to you. I'm not a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat." And he stepped back and he went, "Oh, you're one of those." It's like, is there any position that's good? Is there anything left that's a good position?
I hope you told him to F off at that point.
I absolutely did.
But in your own subtle way.
Like my usual subtlety that I use.
Yeah, Tom's so subtle. I've become so used to him being subtle.
Actually, what would be scary is Tom would get quiet and leave the room.
Yeah, that's not good.
And that's not good. That's not the one you want.
True. Well, we're all expected to take sides. I mean, when I tell people say, "Hey, how about the Twins?" And I say, "Well, I don't care." What do you mean you don't care?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And I go around wearing my Detroit Tigers hat.
Love your hat.
And people stop me and say, "What about the Detroit Tigers?" And I say, "Yeah." Well, I say, "You're a big Twins fan?" They say, "Yeah." And I say, "Well, then you should be rooting for the Tigers."
Yeah.
Because they're no threat.
No, not at all.
They're going to help you. But they don't see it that way. And look, here's the thing about I tell people I'm a big fan of the Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true. It's just that they have so few people rooting for them that I'm able to get the merchandise cheap.
I was just going to say it was going to come down to a cheap. Right. I knew
and
that
the
it was
English D, the old English D, by the way, is fantastic.
I
So
love
like
it,
you can't go wrong with the logo.
And I have always been a fan of their logo, and I have great memories of covering the Tigers and the Twins back in the day when there was a real stadium there.
Yep.
And it was a lot of fun. So I do identify, and I identify with them because I always root for the little guy.
You know, the one thing that does bother me about that, and it's long gone now, but I went to the old Detroit Tigers Stadium, the original one.
Right.
I don't know how many years ago. Oh, Christ, what was that, 30, 40 years ago? I mean, it was a long time ago.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was covering the Twins in the mid to late 70s, and so that's the only ballpark I identify with the Tigers.
I tell you, honest to God, you would go in that ballpark and you sit in there and you would picture the Bob Allisons of the world, and all these other guys, like Roger Maris coming through there, and all. It just, those old ballparks, that was such a thrill to know that that's where they played. The old Yankee Stadium, which is gone now.
Tradition.
God, it was great.
Tradition is like you go to Fenway Park.
Yeah.
You've still got the tradition there.
It's the one left.
I always loved Fenway Park because it was unique. It was a little bit bizarre.
Yep.
And the first time I was in Fenway Park, I was covering a game, and of course I got there very early, and it was very quiet there, and guys were hitting the ball off the wall, and that's when I found out that when the baseball hits the big wall there, it makes a clinking sound, a metallic sound. And I thought, I don't want to know that.
That's true. I get your point, no question.
But it leaves a dent, too. If you go out there and look, there are, thousands of dents of baseballs.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's true.
And just the seams, Tom. So it's just like the seams, but you can see the outline.
Yeah.
That place is, I went there for the first time with my wife, and I think it was 2019. I love that place. Wrigley Field originally, before the lights around that time was cool, but it's been so, for lack of a better term, rigged up now with the scoreboards and all the things. And plus, and I don't blame them, but the bleacher tickets now, and have been for like 20 years, are incredibly expensive. And kids go out there to get completely drunk, which is fine. But Fenway, they actually sit and watch the baseball game. It's it's very cool. It's way more, it feels like way more of a baseball atmosphere, where Chicago, it's more of a let's just get, drunk as possible atmosphere.
And I don't understand why someone can go to a baseball game and get intoxicated, because you do that, it's going to make it very tough for you to read stuff on your device.
Yeah, it really is. There's no question about it. I never used to drink out at the Twins Stadium.
No, of course not. Well, that was rage drinking.
That might have been. That might be a good way to put it.
We got to go to a game, you guys, because I was watching that Good Morning America segment, and they did a special on the food. Tom.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
They showed the Cuban sandwich, the Tonio sandwich.
I love Cuban sandwich.
I love a Cuban sandwich, and it looks so good. Like, we have to get
Cubano.
one on the books. We have to get a game on the books.
Cubano. I wouldn't mind doing that. We could do the whole crew and go out and do a game and all the rest of it.
So fun.
The number one thing I miss about Met Stadium is that they actually had a chain link fence out in left field on top of the wall. People don't realize that. And people would drink their beer cups. Yeah. And they'd stick them through the little diamond shape things.
That's right, yeah.
And they would print out things that would say, if you were sitting behind the plate and you looked out the left field, paper cups would be a line that would say things like, Joe Rudy sucks.
Oh, funny.
It was phenomenal.
Well, they were
I didn't know that. That's great.
That's amazing.
Judd, it was phenomenal.
Oh, my God.
And I wonder who inspired them to say Joe Rudy sucks, because
I don't know.
First time I think I ever saw you were yelling, Joe Rudy, you suck.
That's when you had a damaged head, though. Don't forget that you'd hurt your head.
I just had. I was so excited, to come to the ballpark.
God, I just love that place so much. I just loved Met Stadium. Not a huge fan of the old dome.
That was a mistake.
Except for they won 2 World Series there, so.
Yeah, there should be an asterisk.
There should be. Yeah, you're absolutely.
Yeah, and
by the Metrodome.
Yeah, I think so. And the great thing about the Metrodome, really Met Stadium especially, was that you get hungry about the 4th inning.
Yeah.
And you go get one of those steak sandwiches, and who is selling you the steak sandwich? It's Herb Carneal's wife.
Yeah? Well, who would be bitching about the Twins nonstop, which was I loved.
Oh, she sold? Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess, she...
Kathy, right?
That's right. It was Kathy. I think
Kathy
maybe the two of them just wanted to keep their eye out on each other. But it was great, because of course at least they could carpool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't think it carpool.
And Herb was sober.
Yeah, Herb was sober. Yeah.
I didn't know this until Royce told me a few months ago. But I remember when I was a kid, if there was a Sunday away game, Twins game on radio, Herb would always say, well, the Twins are going to leave Cleveland and the plane is going to land approximately 4:30. And I was like, why the hell is he giving us the flight? Like when it turned out it was because so Kathy, who was listening to the game, would know what time to pick him up.
Oh, that's so funny.
Herb. The thing about Herb is he was doer. It's the only way I can describe him. Mm-hmm. He was just kind of a sad sack. I think he just liked to. I think he needed to vent for various reasons.
Yeah,
I don't know what they were, but I'd see him. I'd see him in the morning, and at the hotel in Detroit or someplace. I'd say, "Hey Herb, how you doing?" And his response was always the same. It was, "Oh Mike, I didn't get a wink of sleep all night."
God, to watch his wife sit behind the plate, because once in a while she'd come to the game to just sit behind the plate. God, she would go after players. It was just wonderful to watch.
That's support.
Oh, God, I was like, you suck! Oh, my God. Mrs. Carneal, calm down.
Well, she was yelling at Herb.
Yeah, right?
Probably yelling at Herb.
You didn't take the trash out this morning. You are trash.
And the thing about Herb is, he wrote a book. You may remember that.
Yes, I do remember that.
I don't know if he actually wrote it himself, but he did have a book, and they were looking for a snappy title, and what they wanted to do was they wanted to echo one of his signature phrases. And so the name of the book was "Hello Again, Everybody."
Hello again,
because
everybody.
That was his signature phrase.
It doesn't pop. It doesn't pop off the.
Come on.
I mean, it's cute when you say it, but like reading that.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody again.
Herb didn't try to pop though. Herb was Herb was about as far from Harry Carey as a human being can get, which is why I would have loved to. And it's before my time though. In the '60s, have heard Herb and Ray Scott and Halsey, which must have just been fantastic.
Oh, Halsey, yeah. I had the great pleasure one time of touring the circuit, the spring training circuit with Halsey.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I believe that Tom Mee, the PR guy, was the driver. So we would go from one city to the next, and you really haven't lived and almost died until you took you went from maybe you went from Orlando to Bradenton with Halsey, because he alternated smoking cigars and chewing onions.
Huge onions, and I mean big raw onions.
And so I got to know Halsey very well. We used to have breakfast every morning.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and every morning he'd knock on his door. He'd knock on mine, and I'd see him, and he'd say, "Hey, how's it going, buddy?" And he never knew my name.
Oh, no. A lot of how's it going, buddy?
Yeah.
Halsey Hall, he still had the greatest line in the history of reporting on when those two young people were sitting under a blanket because it was cold out. And Halsey, and he started laughing. I thought he was going to choke to death because he didn't mean to say it. He kisses her on the strikes, and she kisses him on the balls. And then he realized what he had just said, and he started laughing. He's like, that laugh.
That's so funny.
Well, you never knew with Halsey, because he loved to tell jokes.
He did.
And
love the guy.
Yeah, he was one of a kind. He had been, of course, he started out as a reporter. And it wasn't at the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. It was like before those papers. It was the Minneapolis Journal or something.
I got to reach out to. We got to get Harry back on.
Yeah. Well, Harry's still going strong in our
world. He still goes strong because my favorite thing is Gelfand would smart off to him every time he was on, and there'd be a long pause, and I'd hear, "Barnard, control your monkeys."
That's just so funny.
Remember that?
Yes,
how
it's hilarious.
Wonderful that was.
Control your monkeys.
Control your monkeys.
The guy made a straight man out of me.
He did. He absolutely did.
Yeah, I mean, I always like to get the punchline, but not with him.
No.
My favorite thing is when he tried to describe something and go, there, it's one of those times when you kind of wish that you could go down the... And he'd get talk slower and slower and slower. It's like, God.
Well, I always used to, before a game, I always used to like go into the booth or something.
Sure.
If I was in Chicago at the time, and we'd chat a little bit. And he was another guy. He'd say, "How you doing, boy?" And
how you doing, boy?
No idea what my name was.
No.
But it was always a pleasure. And of course, he always was on his 7th fall staff.
Oh yes, he loved fall staff. Oh Christ, we got to take a break here. It's 19 after already. My God. It's just, you guys are so fascinating. That's the problem. Please feel free, ladies and gentlemen, to enjoy this. We've been hearing about new technology offered at Twin Cities Premier Health for the treatment of ED. This is one of those topics that can get uncomfortable to talk about. I don't think it is. It's part of life, and who gives a rat's? It's not uncomfortable at all. Good people. Matter of fact, I'm going to see him today. Truth is, if new technology can improve your life by treating the root cause of most erectile dysfunction, then why wouldn't we want to talk about it? Couldn't agree more. It's working great. It's wonderful. At Twin Cities Premier Health, acoustic wave therapy is the latest advancement in the treatment of erectile dysfunction. It's a non-invasive, non-surgical, highly effective science-based procedure that creates an increase in blood flow and helps create new blood vessels by treating the root cause of most erectile dysfunction. If, like so many of my listeners, you aren't interested in continuing to take a pill to create a pharmaceutically induced erection and wipe out all spontaneity, which you don't want to do, reach out to Twin Cities Premier Health like I did. Right now, receive this special offer, a free treatment and free consultation when you book today. This is valued at $800, as a matter of fact. 952-395-4346. That's my unique phone number, 952-395-4346. For their office, or go to TwinCitiesPremierHealth.com. That's TwinCitiesPremierHealth.com. Be sure to tell them that Tom Barnard sent you.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
On MyPillow's 20-year anniversary with over 80 million pillows sold, Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank each and every one of you by giving you the lowest price in history on their MyPillows. Queen-size MyPillow's regular price is $69.98, now only $19.98, and just $10 more for king size. MyPillow's patented fill adjusts your exact individual needs to help you get the best sleep ever. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to get Mike's amazing offer on the queen-size MyPillow for only $19.98. Enter promo code TOM. In addition to this special anniversary offer on the MyPillows, you will also receive deep discounts on all MyPillow products such as bed sheets, mattress toppers, pet beds, mattresses, My Slippers, and so much more. Take advantage of the biggest sale in MyPillow's history. Go to MyPillow.com, use promo code TOM to take advantage of Mike's special offer on his MyPillow. That's MyPillow.com, promo code TOM. You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust, who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. So far today, we've discovered that there's nobody to vote for. There are no teams to follow because the Twins lost again today. I did not watch the game yesterday again, Judd, because I was out to dinner. I was running around all day doing, show stuff. So I didn't get to see it, but they lost again.
Well, you didn't miss a damn thing because they came back again. I think they were down by 4 or 5. They gave up a 3-run homer on an 0-2 pitch to a shortstop who was hitting like 178. And we're down significantly, and then of course stormed back and fell short. But you know what this goes back to? It goes back to what I was talking about before. When they play the White Sox or they play the A's, and now they're going to play starting tomorrow for 3 Kansas City, they're going to win games, and people are going to get excited. And when they play a team like the Mariners, who are more talented than the Twins but have the same type of problems, they're going to win every once in a while. But like, this team is not going to completely change its stripes here. And this division is just a complete abomination, which means somebody has to win it. And I'm guessing it's going to be the Twins, but every time you think they're going to pull away a little bit, they lose games. And now I believe Cleveland's within 2.
It's 2 games now. There's I think every reason to expect that there won't be a team in this division that is above 500.
You're probably right.
They don't have to be. The Twins, the thing about the Twins is, I'm sure you've seen this, Judd, they do have an easier schedule than Cleveland the rest of the way. Yes, but it's still a tougher schedule than they've had up to now. So 500 would be amazing. But hey, they've got what? They've got, counting today, they got 5 days to make that blockbuster trade.
Oh, they're going to get a rise back?
How about the fact they dumped Jorge Lopez, who they traded a significant amount for to Baltimore last year? So they picked up 3 players at the trade deadline last year when of course, they completely crapped the bed and fell apart. Lopez, who was on the, unfortunately, mental health list and completely fell apart, and he just got traded to the Marlins for another reliever. The trade that's even worse than that, the worst trade, the Tyler Mahle trade, who they got, what, Mike, about 5 starts from?
Yeah.
He had Tommy John. They traded Encarnacion Strand, who can hit the hell out of the ball, and Spencer Steer, who's been great. That's just an awful trade.
Yeah,
so 2 of those 3 trades that were supposed to help them in a year in which they fell apart, depleted the farm system, and are going to come back to bite them in the ass for a few years, and they're going to get nothing from what they got back.
Well,
nothing.
Right now, we're waiting for that blockbuster trade, and if you listen to Grandpa Bremer, I mean, they're so loaded with talent that's really the problem. They got talent everywhere. Now they're going to have probably the worst infield in baseball, because they're going to move Polanco, who can barely. I mean, they wanted him to be a shortstop. He doesn't have the arm for it.
Right.
So they're going to put him at third base. And then Julian, who is a DH, he's just a born DH. Can't catch the ball, can't throw the ball. He can throw the ball like on a double play because he doesn't have to think about it. But the guy's got the yips. An ordinary ground ball, he just can't throw it to first base. So he's going to be at second. And Correa will have to play every position, basically. He'll be like the kids I used to coach in T-ball, where they would just run to each base.
Just tell the shortstop, cover the whole damn infield because your teammates suck.
Yeah, exactly. yeah.
At T-ball. That's
Julian. I've never seen this before, but I will stand by it. Not only does Julian have the throwing yips on short throws where he can actually think about it because it's second base, there's time to think. I've never seen this one. I think he has the fielding yips because he's made some nice plays when he has to range to his right and doesn't have time to think. But when he has time to think, he'll look at his glove. He'll look at the baseball in his glove like, oh, my God, I did catch it.
Well, and the other thing is, when someone steals second base against the Twins, if the ball bounces in front of second base, which, it happens about a third of the time when someone's stealing. The catcher throws the ball, it bounces in front of second base. The runner can just keep going to third. He's not going to stop it. He might deflect it, but he can't stop it. He can't catch it. This is a rare situation in baseball because a lot of times guys will steal second base. They will steal off the pitcher. Sometimes they will steal off the catcher. But now they steal off the second baseman.
That's true.
I haven't seen it before.
Lying.
No.
He's not lying.
And the other thing is, I think that the Twins think that their blockbuster trade is going to involve the now resuscitated Deutsch Dinger.
Deutsch Dinger.
Yeah, I refer, of course.
I do hope they trade him. I like that thought. I would trade him.
Yeah, but who wants him? Does anyone actually believe that 10 days in paradise has wiped out 7 years in hell?
Their blockbuster trade, though, is going to be for probably another reliever or, at this point, more likely, a right-handed bat. And I'm not saying that it won't be a player that we have never heard of, but I am saying I don't think it's going to exactly resonate as some great move. I will tell you the Julian solution, though, you guys, and I think it's very, very simple, and the Twins are going to bristle, but screw that.
I think so, too. I think I know where you're going, but go ahead.
The solution is you put Polanco back at second.
Yep.
When Royce Lewis comes back, he goes back to third. So and he was absolutely fine there. And Julian DHs, and Buxton doesn't play every single damn day.
Right. You know, that's where I was going. Was mostly with Buxton. They got to get him out of there so Julian can be the DH. I mean, he's so much more productive at the plate than Buxton. Buxton, I say, at the very least, just give him the year off, the rest of the year.
I agree. Get healthy, for God's sake.
They're just worse when he's in the lineup. Or maybe the only position I think he could play would be first base.
Yeah, and I don't. You know what? I think Kirillov's fine there now.
Yeah, he is.
He can go to the outfield. I think Kirillov's a better first baseman than an outfielder, so I think I'd prefer him at first base. But you know, the thing with Buxton is they just continue to bang their head against the wall, and nothing is changing. And his at bats are hard to watch. Yeah. It's amazing, but he has somehow replicated Miguel Sano right now.
You always think of Sano when I think of him. It's the same thing.
Because they were tied together, yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if Buxton had come up from St. Paul and he was making $750,000 a year, he wouldn't be in the lineup.
Hell no.
$100 million, they got to play him, and that doesn't make any sense. You've already made a fool of yourself by paying him $100 million.
He's always been hurt. Always.
Yeah, but why compound the problem?
I know. So why did we ever let Arise go? Did he just want to leave?
No.
They were desperate for starters. They were desperate to get a starting pitcher, and the problem was Derek Falvey came here with the reputation, right, for being the pitching guru. Cleveland had done it. He was going to find pitching. And right now, Bailey Ober is the only guy in the rotation who is their guy. Everybody else they had to go out and trade for because Derek Falvey has failed miserably at finding starting pitching, which was supposed to be a strength.
And now all the starting pitchers are starting to regress pretty significantly.
They are.
Look at Ryan, who was their ace. And unless he finds another pitch, he's just not going to be great.
All right, we only got 6 more minutes left with Judd, so I got to bring this up. What the hell's going on with the University of Minnesota football team? Holy God.
Yeah, I saw that story about the PJ Fleck culture, and I do not use culture in a good way this time. Ordinarily, we hear about the culture of Hubbard, the culture of the Tom Barnard Show, the culture of Mackey and Judd. But this one is, here's the thing that I will say. For anybody, and I think Mike would agree with this, for anybody who is surprised what we are, and really continually have found out about college sports in general and college football in particular, if you're surprised, you are among the most naive human beings in the world. College sports are dirty, and college football can be an absolute cesspool because these coaches, unlike pro coaches, have all the power over young people who they basically then corrupt. So all this stuff is incredibly unfortunate, and the Northwestern hazing is disturbing. None of it's surprising.
No, it's not surprising at all. And by the way, I'm going to follow the lead of the University of Minnesota. So whether it's, Mike Gelfand or Brittany or Rudy or you or whatever, when I walk in the morning, you all have to applaud when I come in.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see this?
I was reading it too.
That's crazy.
My big question.
You have to applaud when he comes into the room?
It's very drill sergeant-esque. Like, there's a lot of things in here that remind me of basic training that, like,
oh, really?
Yeah, for sure. That kind of, make you feel about this big, and eventually you're madly in love with your drill sergeant because they're the ones in power. It's that, like, Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
The question I just keep going back to is then why do you want your kid to be involved in these things? Like, to hear all that your kid is going through this, like, torturous, I mean, college is hard enough.
No,
so why are you
it doesn't matter to some people. They want to live vicariously through that.
I just can't imagine being like, all right, little Timmy, I got a great game
Sports
plan.
parents are weird, Brittany, though. That's the thing. Sports parents can be very bizarre.
Well, you know, and having been a coach at every level of youth baseball, it basically starts with T-ball. You know, and then it just gets worse every year. I'll tell you how bad it is. The other day, I heard someone refer to a cesspool as college football.
That's assaulting to a cesspool.
That's kind of negative. I should probably read this paragraph because this is what we're talking about. This is from MSN, as a matter of fact. The University of Minnesota football team's latest NCAA program in the national spotlight after a report from Front Office Sports detailed allegations of brainwashing and a cult-like atmosphere under head coach P.J. Fleck. The story quoted several anonymous former players who played under Fleck between 2017 and 2021. The allegations range from one anonymous player claiming the team had to applaud for Fleck every time he entered a room, while another claimed players had to memorize pages in a binder and were later tested on it, with punishments sometimes handed out for poor test scores. Parts of the test allegedly required players to memorize acronyms that Fleck is known to use, including think, truthful, helpful, inspirational, necessary, and kind.
I have to interject.
Necessary?
I just have to interject.
Necessary.
I must interject while we're talking about culture.
Okay.
That is not an acronym.
That's not an acronym.
No.
It's not even close.
No, you're right.
My favorite one is this one. It's SFAMFS. And it's just start fast, accelerate in the middle, finish strong. So it's just like, what? You're just going hard the whole time? Like, it doesn't spell anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's ridiculous.
How about FIPOS?
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Flack is a
piece of shit.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that. That was. By the way, that guy is incredible. I've only met him one time, and I didn't even talk to him.
Yeah.
Just, hey, how you doing? What an arrogant ass that man
when he runs on the field and the whole thing. Dude, settle down. In fact, the day after they won that bowl, what was that, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? They played on like a Wednesday night. It was late. It was like they finished the game. It was the West Coast. They finished the game at like 9:30. The next day, I was at Caribou Coffee in Dinkytown. It's 9:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
PJ Fleck is getting a coffee. I'm like, dude, you were in another time zone less than 12 hours ago winning a bowl game. Now you're in Dinkytown on your way to the office. Could you pump the brakes? You just won a bowl, dude. Like, enjoy it for a moment. And I just walked up. I was like, hey, Mr. Fleck, congratulations on your win. You mind if I get a quick picture? He's like, yeah, no problem. Like, takes a quick photo, turns around, runs out the door.
Did the thumb go up, though? Because he loves to have the thumb up.
Thumb up.
Every picture, the thumbs up.
I can't remember if it was or not. If anything, he should have just shoved it up his ass and sat for a moment and chilled out.
And he said, Rudy, hey, don't forget to fist.
Yeah.
Family invested, same time, keep it tight. What?
What does that even mean?
I fist, PJ. I fist.
We know Rudy be fisting.
Hey, my favorite Fleck moment. One of his players takes a hard hit. He's on the ground, and before the guy can get up, Fleck races out onto the field, which, by the way, he's not allowed to do.
Right.
Races out into the field, and later says, when he woke up, I wanted him to see me first. I wanted to be the first.
In Iowa. It was Tyler Johnson, and it drove me crazy.
And he wasn't unconscious. He was just on the ground.
I just love it.
But according to Fleck, he was unconscious, possibly dead. Yeah.
Hey, you guys, I got to take a break here because I got to go and hop in the hot tub with his wife.
What?
Oh, she's going to the hot tub with all the players all the time. You
Yeah,
never knew that?
But that's because of fist. You gotta keep family invested.
Yeah, it is.
They walk off the field together after every game.
Oh yeah.
So like she comes on to the field, and at the end of games. So before I go though, explain one thing. Because when Mike talked about that was a game against the Hawkeyes in Iowa, and it drove me crazy. But Rocco does this too. When did coaches and managers start coming out with a trainer for everyone who has any?
Yeah.
Rocco can't wait to race out of the dugout to go check. I do not recall Gene Mock going out there with Dick Martin or Billy Gardner racing out there with Dick Martin to check if Pete Buchanan stubbed his toe. When did this start and how can we stop it?
And Gene Mock, he would have been in the runway smoking a cigarette while the player was on the ground. And that's a good manager, right?
That's baseball right there.
That's baseball. That is the game.
Don't want my manager out. If I foul a ball off my shin, I don't want my bleeping manager out there. Can you stay in the game? Hey, how about you just go back in the dugout? The trainer's going to spray some crap on this, and I'm going to keep playing, okay? Drives me nuts.
There it is. All right, pal,
Anyway,
you got to go.
See you all. I'll talk to you next week, Mike.
Looking forward to it, Judd. Thank you, sir.
Judd comes through again.
Judd's all good. Coming through again, no question about it. Look, I just don't understand. Why does this man have such a massive ego? He's never won.
That is so bizarre. And it's not surprising, of course.
No.
It's not the least bit surprising. But, yeah, I mean, the game's not about him.
No.
And he's never going to convince anyone except himself. But the wife in the hot tub?
All the time, I guess.
That's
insane. I don't get that either.
Depending on your point of view, it's either perverse or simply inappropriate.
Or just
I like it.
Get hobbies. Like, I can't imagine if Justin or me just based our whole life around the other person's career.
Yeah.
How,
oh, yeah.
Like, why do you go to every game? I mean, that blows my mind.
You know, my wife would never have gone into that hot tub, not because of the players, but because of me.
Because of you. Yeah. Absolutely not going to do it.
But I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
God, I would laugh like my ass off if somebody said, "Hey, Catherine, why don't you hop in the hot tub with the players?" Like, yeah, okay.
Or if every day Catherine came here and was like, "Well, how'd the show go?" Like, just being that invested in everything that you're significant.
She has no interest in that whatsoever.
Get a life.
I'm surprised it didn't make the rounds as much as it did because it was a news story, but it was like under the radar. And this happened up in Hibbing, my hometown, because I think it was the hockey coach's wife was buying alcohol for the players.
Whoa.
And
really?
Then ended up sleeping with a couple of them.
Oh, God.
When they were seniors. And the coach ran out of town. Then this made the paper because I remember people sharing it. And I'm surprised this didn't make national news. I felt like this should have been a bigger story. But our coach's wife, like, we didn't even know the coach's kids or like where they lived. We didn't even know their first names, let alone who their wives were.
No, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Well, the only time a wife of a coach should be in a hot tub with a football player is when her husband is trying to recruit the player.
Exactly.
It's a whole different deal.
Absolutely.
And she better be good looking.
I was going to say, if it was me, I'd be like apologizing for my full gown I'm wearing in the hot tub. It's just my postpartum swimming suit. Sorry that I can't make you food.
Yeah, picking you up after the road game like Ned Braden's wife. That's what you need. Yeah.
You know, I hate to admit this, but I'd kind of like to see that.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. You're all in. You're good to go.
Yeah, no, that just blows my mind. It blows my mind when anybody's that invested. I mean, even when we were watching like Mahomes play and Brittany Mahomes going to every game on the sidelines, the elaborate outfit. Like, I just can't. I love you, and I want to support my husband, and once every couple years go do something for him. But it's like, your whole identity is wrapped up in your partner.
This is why Tom has the perfect marriage, because he understands and his wife understands that her role is as a guardrail.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's very, very sad.
Because we obviously have all the worst instincts.
That's true.
And we need someone to correct that.
And also, Catherine Still's like, peace, I'm out, you're on your own. Like, she'll leave you for a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just not going to wrap her whole identity in you. I'm sorry. And
which I love.
Yeah. It would drive me crazy if you were.
Strong women, man.
And she doesn't sell steak sandwiches at the ballpark.
She does not.
Actually, I find disappointing because I would like a steak sandwich right now. We've been talking about it for hours.
Oh, those were good steak sandwiches. Yes.
They were. We only got a couple of minutes left, and I've been avoiding this all day, but this story's just sad, and it's always been sad from the first time I've ever seen this woman. Irish singer Sinead O'Connor has died at 56. She killed herself.
And she is very, very talented.
Very talented, but just a mess.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, emotional mess. And a mental mess. Now, her son just killed himself, right, a short time ago?
Yeah.
And now she killed herself.
Kid was like 17 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, how do you go on and Yeah, you're right. It's just the saddest story ever.
I mean, you look at they keep showing her tearing up the picture of the Pope. And it's like that's so sad.
Leave it alone, really? And it's not a felony, okay?
No.
Yeah. And what's funny is I was reading something about her yesterday she claims that helped her career because for her, she never wanted to be a pop star. She didn't want to be loved by everyone. She wanted to perform and feel like that writing was a necessity, not like it was this easy thing. So even though, like, obviously, tearing up people had strong feelings about that.
I don't.
I don't either.
I don't.
I grew up Catholic, and you go ahead. You want to tear up a picture of the Pope? Good for you.
I don't care what your religion is. If it's Moses, it's okay with me.
Right. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But like, I do think it's funny that in her mind she goes, "I needed that. I wanted people to quit sucking up to me."
And she was nuts.
I know.
The woman was
but
crazy.
She was crazy. And I feel bad. I feel bad because I know too she'd been dealing with mental health her whole life issues. So.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. And it carried on to her son. And I'm sure she had tremendous guilt that it carried on to her son. I would imagine. It's not fair. She shouldn't have because it wasn't her fault. But
and it wouldn't be great to be one of her other kids.
Yeah, oh God.
But I mean, that's if anyone understands, I understand the mentality of someone who takes their own life. So it's not like I'm denouncing her because they're just someone like that is just in a completely different universe.
No, it's a whole different day. Yeah, you denounce somebody. She led a miserable life.
Yeah, that's the thing. Big star and all that, and she was very famous for a while. But yeah, it's not the life anyone would want for anyone.
No question about it. I had to bring that up quickly, spend a couple of minutes. Yes, I thought she was a tremendous talent, but what a mess.
Yeah.
Jesus, just terrible.
Tragic.
Sometimes it just goes with the, with the whole business of being that talented.
Yeah.
It's, we could go through a huge list of people who are very famous and fame just destroyed them.
It's true. We do have to take a break. Coming back, don't we have like a superstar coming in as our special guest?
Yeah.
That's what I heard anyway.
Huge special guest.
Huge special guest. Hi, this is Tom Barnard. My friends at Niemeyer Trailer Sales at their Albertville location just off Interstate 94 would like to extend a special offer going on now through the end of July. It's for all our Tom Barnard Morning Show listeners. When you visit their Albertville location, mention that you heard me, Tommy B, tell you about this July-only savings opportunity on travel trailers and pickup campers. Now, you must be a qualified buyer, but here's the really good news. Receive up to $5,000 off the advertised price on all their new in-stock inventory. As always, terms and conditions do apply. Brands include Rockwood by Forest River, Arctic Fox by Northwood Home Manufacturing, Cirrus by New Camp, and more. Now is a real good time to buy and take your passion on the road with Niemeyer Trailer Sales. You can't just sit around. See my guys and gals at Niemeyer's in Albertville or peruse their current inventory at Niemeyers.com. That's Niemeyers.com. Niemeyers.com. The up to $5,000 off sales event ends July 31st.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw & Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
It's time to beat the heat. This is Tom from my friends at Miller Marine and Power Lodge, giving you the keys to a cool lake breeze. With clearance pricing on 2023 luxury pontoons, fishing boats, and more, our dog days of summer won't last, and neither will their inventory. So do both of us a favor and go from floor to shore today with iconic Bennington pontoons and tri-toon packages at doorbuster pricing at Miller Marine in St. Cloud and all Power Lodge locations. Get your first cruise in by sunset. But don't wait on this limited time special. Power Lodge offers competitive financing with no money down. By the way, if you need delivery to your dock, their team of experts has you covered. Discover what thousands of our Minnesota neighbors have and explore our lakes and rivers in your own boat at Elite Savings. I said Elite Savings, darn it. Launch into adventure today at Miller Marine and Power Lodge. Just head to millermarine.com and powerlodge.com to see for yourself. Financing is available on approved credit. Freight and prep are not included in packages. On the mnfatloss.com program, I've truly experienced great success. I did the first 60 days and lost 27 pounds. I was on the maintenance program for 8 weeks, and now I kept the weight off but wanted to lose some more, so I'm back on the fat loss program, and you can be too. The last week of summer savings of $200 is this week. I'm telling you, do yourself a favor and connect with the team at mnfatloss.com. Doesn't matter that it's summertime. Like me, you'll see you get to eat plenty of the real foods you love, and you won't feel hungry or deprived. They really have figured out the secret to fat loss. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, that's about a pound of fat every day, by the way. No exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, $200 summer savings ends this week. Go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you. Honest to God, Rudy's in there, can't even carry the weight on his shoulders. He's got to bring in an assistant.
A special guest.
What the hell?
Look at him, manning the helm. That's
Awake before 10.
Andrew Barnard,
Andy
everybody.
awake before 10. Whoever heard of it?
Yeah, that's great.
These days they wake up at 8, which
8?
to me is like unheard of.
Is that does that time Ethan's waking up at 8?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
That actually sounds glamorous.
Yeah, everyone was like, "Oh, prepare to never sleep past 6 ever again," and no, Ethan will gladly sleep till 8.
Love that for you guys.
If I could just get my cat to sleep in.
There's a little wandering on the bed, does it?
Yeah,
wake you up?
well, usually it's head-butting at about 6 o'clock.
Oh, really? Does the head
Yeah,
butt?
it's
Well,
like,
cats naturally wake up sunrise and sunset.
Yeah.
That's when they're most active. So as soon as that sun starts rising, they're coming to get you.
yeah, at least in the winter I can sleep a little later, but
There is no sunrise.
no. No.
There's no such
Well,
thing as a sunrise.
And Andy and I would tell you there's very little sunrise in our lives.
There you go.
Oh, here we go. It's all that intelligence that's getting in the way. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think of it as intelligence. I think of it as mental illness.
Mental illness, that's
But
good.
either way, it works for me.
Either way, there's a lot going on up there.
I feel like a new man, though. Did you notice my whole attitude changed in the last minute?
Yeah.
I was able to lift this chair
Yeah,
up.
you did.
Somebody who was 7 feet tall was sitting in this chair. Or it could have been Brittany.
Yeah, either one, interchangeable. It was definitely Tevin, but
I need to put a sign on this chair that says, "Don't touch it."
don't touch. I'm here once a week.
Yeah,
Don't touch
that's
my
right.
chair.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was down there as like sitting in sort of some sort of a bunker, you know. I was like looking, staring up at the microphone. So I'm very happy about this.
Yeah. You rise up. Rise up.
That's all you ever do.
It's funny because the chair started to lift up right after the ED commercial.
Yes. Hey-oh.
What do you think of that action, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, there are no coincidences.
It's called the placebo effect. It even works on chairs.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. You guys keep talking because let me read you the top 4 headlines this morning.
Okay.
Okay. Sinead O'Connor's death not suspicious. Well, she killed herself.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
How would that be suspicious?
Just making sure we dot all the I's.
It's like
much,
it's like there was the story the other day. I'll let you go on, but the story the other day about the 2 children who were shot in North Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle
30th and Emerson, baby.
middle of the night.
Yep.
And the police said there's no need to worry because it just wasn't random. So everybody can relax.
It was the wildest sentence because it says these were not random shots, but they were not the intended victims.
They were not, yeah.
And it was just kind of like,
that's how it goes in Minneapolis.
but it's just like, say what you mean. Like, what happened here? That's like the bleakest sentence.
It did raise more questions than it provided answers.
One, if intended victims, plural, how do you shoot 2 people by accident?
I know.
I'm guessing the way you do it is just give everybody a gun.
Kind of the way, I was just thinking about this. Of all the houses I lived in North Minneapolis, I don't believe anyone ever shot at our house. I don't think it ever happened.
Well, that's nice.
It is nice to know.
Back then, there was no gun control.
Yeah, there was. Should have been.
Yeah.
They should have shot the place up like there was no tomorrow. Never happened.
And people couldn't print guns either.
Oh, God, that printing of guns thing is very dangerous.
It's
the amount of ghost guns out there, gun printing is the least of your worries.
Oh, you guys, this is just
but
an
nobody,
upper.
nobody knows.
Holy crap.
We got 5 more minutes, too.
But the thing is, nobody knows how many are out there. There's no way of knowing.
Yeah, you can't know. That's true.
Well, but why bother, I suppose, is my point. You
Yeah.
can get one anywhere.
Well, sure. I mean, what do we have, like 1.5 guns per person in this country?
Something like that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's not working out very well.
I just don't know when we're going to. Are we ever going to be able to get back to a point where people stop being such jerks? Law enforcement just start doing their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this whole. We just talked about this yesterday. People walking into stores, grabbing an armfuls of clothing, and just walking out, and nobody can stop them. That costs you and me a lot of money, man.
They should be like me. I haven't purchased a new piece of clothing in 20 years.
Other than that shirt you got on today.
Well, this is part of the.
Pretty snazzy.
This is part of the fall collection at Target.
Oh, it is okay.
Nice.
But
would that be fall 2002?
About that, maybe a little earlier, but. And then you'll notice I had the White Castle T-shirt.
Yes.
And I guess you probably know where I got that.
What? Where did you ever get that one?
It was at a radio station.
Was it?
Yeah. I'm still wearing merch from the radio station.
That's hilarious. Like,
what's
that
a radio
is so
station?
ridiculous.
What is that?
They used to be all over the place, but I'd have to. It's you've heard the word terrestrial, right? Terrestrial.
Terrestrial, yeah.
Terrestrial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look it up, and you'll see probably a picture of a radio station.
No, everything's in space.
I have a question for you guys because I heard it twice this morning before I came to work. Do people really pronounce poinsettia?
Yes,
yeah,
they do.
poinsettia.
That's how I heard it for the first 20 years of my life.
It's poinsettia.
There's a lot of words like that,
Yeah.
though.
Well, how about niche?
Niche, yeah, that's right. Niche.
Who the hell ever said niche?
Niche. It's your own niche. It's your own niche.
Yeah.
What, niche? What the hell are you talking
What are you, French?
You guys
Niche, actually.
You guys always
Yeah,
break my
niche.
brains because then I can never remember the way I say it. Like, I know I'm supposed to be shamed, but I always try to tap in. Like, I think I say it's a niche market.
I
It's
say
a
niche.
Yeah.
What's the month after January?
Oh, February.
February.
It's
Everyone says
February.
February, but where's that extra R go?
February.
February.
I just say Febra.
We're saving that R in case we need it.
Yeah, we might need it later on. That's true.
February.
Yeah, I didn't realize that people, there's so many, well, that just came up on the show, earlier this week and last week.
Yeah, what was the word that well, first off, I'm not going to say almond anyway but almond, so don't try to
That's
change
how I
me.
say it, almond.
It's almond.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
come on.
Listen
It's
to that.
almond.
Listen to that man.
No.
That's your
It's
father.
almond.
He is the problem.
Yeah.
And just because you can't say lackadaisical.
Lackadaisical.
Lackadaisical, not lackadaisical.
Laxativical.
Laxativia, yeah. Ex-laxativia.
Lactivia.
No,
Well,
but
if I'm watching, say, a local news show, and a reporter or an anchor says often,
often,
I just
yeah.
change the channel.
I agree. I hate often.
No.
Often. I don't like either. You got to say often.
No, people,
Etymologically speaking, it is correct. It comes from oft.
We all just get angry.
Well,
we all grit our
I don't
teeth.
say it, but it is technically correct.
Yeah, often.
It's
that
one of those
drives me
things that's
nuts.
technically correct, but no one likes it.
yeah,
me
well, we
nuts.
could have a discussion about that, but I think it
Well-
would be incredibly boring.
And
Unless
here
you
we
like
are.
etymology.
It could be magnificent.
Okay,
You never know.
I do want to note this. We don't have to go through the list, Tom, but on Wise Brothers, they have the 10 states where Americans say they can be happy with less than 70,000. Doesn't it blow your mind that 70,000 isn't enough
Not
now?
a lot of money, yeah.
It sounded like a lot of money when I was a kid, I'll tell you that.
Well, even when I was a kid, that's
Same.
50,000 was like you're set.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Yeah, and now the median household income is like 65,000.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy? I feel like
Yeah.
that's
That is
insane.
amazing.
Like, you pretty much, if you want to live, if you want to have a house, you have to make about $100,000 a year between you both.
It depends. Well, it's not even a state thing. It's like a city by city,
Yes, it's true.
even smaller than city by city, honestly, because
Yeah.
there's places up north in Minnesota. You drive 4 hours north, you can find mansions for $150,000. It
Yeah.
just there's
That's
nothing within 2 hours, so no one wants to live in them. So
Good.
the land is worthless.
We can close the show with this one. William Lauder, who's Estee Lauder's, I believe, son or grandson. I can't remember if he's a grandson or son, but William Lauder bought Rush Limbaugh's house
Yeah.
in Palm Beach. Cosmetics heir William Lauder, who bought Palm Beach property in March for $155 million, is tearing it down.
Oh, it's a teardown.
Oh,
It's a teardown.
Now,
$150 million teardown.
Give it to me. I will take my car and I will tow it back to Minnesota.
Just give me the house.
That just doesn't pass the smell test.
No,
really?
You have to wonder if there's something else going on.
Like
there.
what would be going on though?
A ghost.
Could be a ghost.
Rush Limbaugh's ghost.
I would take Rush Limbaugh.
Tax
I would take his ghost.
evasion, money laundering. You never know.
The thing is, if you were trying to make a statement, Rush Limbaugh's dead. Okay.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work.
Tearing down his house doesn't really.
Why would you buy a house for $155 million and then tear it down?
Because you can.
It's a hideous kitchen, though. The backsplash. Oh, yeah.
Wood paneling. Let's just drop a nuke on this.
Andy, when we go to the beach down there, that house that's just south of the beach, that's his mother's house. That's Estee Lauder's house.
Oh, wow.
Or it used to be.
Okay.
Why would anyone want to live in a house with, you don't really need 24 bathrooms, right?
24 bathrooms.
I do.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
24 bathrooms in his house.
And all I can think of is, like, do you have to walk around, make sure you flush them all? Because otherwise there's that sitting water, the line. And, of course, I'm like, they never do any of that
No, they got
stuff.
people for that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You don't have to feel sorry for Ben Affleck if you think that he has to, clean the bathrooms every week.
Yeah, that's
Probably has never, let's just say his fingers have never touched chlorine.
Yeah.
No. 2.7 acres of land on the beach. Wow.
A lot on the beach.
Limbaugh bought it for $4 million in '98.
$4 million.
Not that long ago, you guys.
Pretty good investment, I must say.
25 years.
24,000 square feet. I wonder how many bedrooms and bathrooms it has.
Well, 0 now.
Well, yeah, soon.
He's begun tearing it down. He did start tearing it down, so it's coming down, man.
I guess in Florida there are no officially historically preserved buildings.
Oh, there are some, yeah.
Really?
The problem is hurricanes tend to knock them down. So how long can you preserve them for, really?
That can be a problem.
But there's things like Ernest Hemingway's house.
Yeah.
There's stuff on Palm Beach. There's old buildings.
There's some of that stuff.
But like I said, anything in the Keys can't be that old because every so often the Keys just get flattened.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than a home improvement show when you watch it and they walk in and they go, "Oh, but the paint." And you go, "You can fix that? Why are you?"
It's like paint. Who cares?
They always do that. "Oh, but I
Yeah,
hate the
they
color
do.
of the paint. I don't know if this is our house." And you just go, "What are you? You could
paint it."
That's something a realtor will tell you is the cheapest way to add value to your house. Paint it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
They don't want to spend the 3 days and $5,000 it takes to repaint the house. But if you do it,
Right.
all of a sudden, oh yeah, this is worth $50,000 more. Look how pretty it is.
Isn't that funny? Just the things you can do.
The way I look at it, what will really make my house more valuable is tearing it down.
That's it. The lots of where all the money is.
I got some space there where people might want to put up a house with, say, 10 bedrooms.
10 bedrooms.
Yeah,
It's that big.
I have
huh?
1.5, but.
No, right.
But they could, because I'm in that area where people need to have 10 bedrooms.
Yeah.
And you can always build up. Just
Well,
build
right, exactly.
7 stories or so.
Oh, go to Gelfand's neighborhood. There's always construction.
Oh, God, it's so annoying.
It's
Never
so.
stops.
It's driving over to Gelfand's is so annoying.
Yep.
There's like 5,000 houses
Oh.
being worked on.
No, there's a house, I'll just say, near me. Probably they bought the house for about, I'd say $500,000. And not that long ago, really, like 20 years, 15 years. And
God,
I
it must
would
be worth $5 million now.
Well, I would guess it was a mid-century modern house, which they're in big demand, a classic kind of architecture.
Yeah.
And they've probably done about, I'd say, $2 to $3 million of rehab work in the house. So it's no longer a mid-century modern house, but that's what people do around there.
Can we include all this in the next in the family podcast?
Just roll over.
You just roll right over into it.
Oh, I thought we were in it. I'm sorry.
Well, we can be in it if you want. I'd go back and do an intro and we could move that part.
I mean,
No, we could.
technically speaking, I don't think there's any reason we couldn't, but
No, we'll take a very quick break. But why don't we? Because we don't have a guest today.
let me look.
I don't think that I can
Special
see
guest,
one anyway.
Andrew Barnard. You could still be your special
I'm on
guest.
the family for
Andy.
the first time.
Andy.
Not the 4,000th time or however many times it's been.
Been
Nope,
a
no
lot.
guest.
I didn't think we had a guest today. So why don't we just take about a 5-minute break and come back and do the family podcast?
Okay.
And we can include that part in it if you want. So do it 55 minutes.
Perfect.
Now that's okay. We'll be right back.